So, last week, we concluded a long-ass combination dungeon crawl, siege battle, and epic boss fight. So it was all three rolled into one huge Dagwood sandwich, but you ate it one bite at a time and made it out to the other end. Since that time, you guys have met with your allies, collected all of the available loot, made agreements with your allies about the division of loot, and then you yourselves have started to divide up said loot. So, I guess we could just stay on the main screen for now, or I could take you back into the horrible depths of the Black Dragon's lair one last time. I guess we could do that. While you figure out, while we finish up the allocation of any weird or interesting loots. Keep in mind that any items that are being crafted by the lizardfolk will still take them some time to craft, and that time will vary depending on what you were trying to get crafted. I got my Google Drive open over here, so I'm ready to go with that. And so we'll do a little bit of bookkeeping here at the beginning so that I can kind of keep track, and then we'll just kind of go from there. All right, so of the dragon's parts, I'm in the article with the dragon's parts. What did you decide to do with, let's see, yeah. First and foremost, what are you doing with the heart? Because I have a table I have to roll on for the heart. So who have you decided is going to eat that heart?
I think it's gonna be me, Crash.
Okay.
Yeah, I think that's the majority right now. I don't know.
Okay. In that case, go ahead and give me a D100 roll if you are eating the heart. Okay.
Nice and average.
All right. It takes 10 minutes. You get a huge 9 months pregnant sized belly when you are done with the task at hand. Immediately upon consuming it, you do gain a point of exhaustion from the effort. And over the next few hours, you grow shadowy black scales in patches all over your body. This has the benefit of increasing your overall armor class by 1. In addition, you also gain resistance to acid and necrotic. This is considered a boon, not a magical item. So record it as a boon of the ancient Black Shadow Dragon. All right. Let's see.
Hey, Crash, just curious. Was his role? Does it determine that stuff? Is there like a huge list of stuff like you can actually get? Just curious.
Yeah, low roll would have resulted in like 1 trait, like a high roll, like a nat hundy. You would have been able to essentially turn into a black dragon for a limited duration.
Oh my god!
Yeah.
Oh, I wish I had inspiration.
But I mean, that's just the nature of the D hundies. Oh my god!
Sorry, I just wanted to see.
It's all right.
Nice, Tyria. Don't rub it in.
If anyone would roll it, that's who would roll it. So, all right, let me post that up. So, of the available parts, I believe it was said when somebody asked me that the lizardfolk would be able to lend their aid to speed up the crafting of 3 dragon parts items. So what are the 3 dragon parts items? Keeping in mind that you guys could easily create the arrows without needing any assistance, so I wouldn't actually put the arrows down there as one. Yeah, but yeah, the dragon chart though had everything from growing wings to breathing a breath weapon to gaining or improving dark vision. There was all sorts of stuff on there. So, all right,
Cool.
yep. Okay, so what are the 3 things so that I could put them on your calendar? Because the calendar is actually going to be very important for the rest of the campaign. I'm not a huge fan of campaign timers, but sometimes they do happen. So that's kind of where you guys are at. There are events now transpiring that will happen with or without you, and a failure to act within such a time can, have some pretty bad consequences. So what are the 3 items that the lizardfolk are speeding up the construction of? And then I can mark them on the calendar for when they will be available, essentially.
I think Skull. Yeah, Skull had an idea for some of that stuff, I believe.
Oh, okay. So Skull messaged me about some of it. Am I just going to go off of that list that was sent to me then? Has that been okayed by everybody?
I think there was 1 or 2 things we were short in that. Out of that, I believe. If Skull, if you want to jump in.
Yeah, what is it?
Sorry, I forgot I was muted. I think, well, there was the one thing, and then I guess I thought making the wand would be a really good idea, but if nobody can really use it, maybe we should make something else. I think the last thing was the cloak of the dragonflight. But
yeah, Cloak of the Dragonflight is definitely a hot item on that list for sure. All right, so I will add that to my notes. You're gonna have those items made. Got it. All right. So with that settled, the lizard folk inform you that they will, as they sort of settle this new area, they will set their artisans to work to craft you items reflecting the great heroism and deeds that you have done to save their people. It's possible in another instance of this campaign that these people have been completely eradicated. So, it's nice to see that they're alive in one of my games. All right. Beyond that, you have an assload of treasure and are now able to return to the city of Saltmarsh. The weather is still terrible. The region is still badly flooded. With the passing of the dragon, however, anyone loyal to her is more than likely slithering/swimming away to safety so as not to meet the same fate as their former master. As such, returning to Saltmarsh could be a gross and soaking wet process, but should not be as dangerous as it was leaving Saltmarsh. So, unless you have any other business here in the swamps, I guess it would be time to return to Saltmarsh, or where do you intend to head next?
I guess back to Saltmarsh, right?
Yeah, that sounds good.
All right.
Yeah, I'd like to take the armor crash, that cleric/paladin armor. I can't remember the name of it. The healing one. And present that to my acolyte, if possible, since no one really cared for it.
Wow. Yeah, I mean, your acolyte would be over the moon to receive such a bountiful gift.
Especially after he got jumped.
Oh yeah, for sure. They have been volunteering in the community to work with the local temple of Volcure to try and help the people who are succumbing to all of this madness and stress and fear that is sort of permeating throughout the city. And as such, they have slowly but surely begun to garner for you and your faith a small but faithful following, which is
Wow.
pretty cool. Yeah. All right. If there were such mechanics for it, you would get like, I don't know. Well, I mean, if you need you need an inspiration point, you certainly have one for that. But if if there was some kind of piety system or some crazy thing like that, having your guy go out and do all this kind of stuff is building towards that positivity for your faith. So that's a good thing. All right, I guess I'll move you guys back to Saltmarsh, and we'll do a quick roll call on what everybody's getting up to as they return. Keeping in mind that the rain continues to pound across the city. The sewers and gutters overflowing, the canals getting very, very high. Overall, it's a bad scene. It's a bad scene. So hold on just a second.
I like how none of these plans were useful.
Well, which plans? Which ones?
The ones we drew up on the I drew up on the page about like if we were gonna fight her in the open.
Well,
Oh,
yeah, fighting her in the open, as you later found out, would have been pretty bad. Because you wouldn't have been able to pin her down with the daylight spells. Let's see. I need some good rain music that won't be too distracting. Yeah, this will work. Let's see. Okay. Alrighty, so we're just gonna go round robin, I guess. Nikolai, upon returning to town, there is a message for you that has arrived. You would essentially pick it up, I'm going to say, from the empty net. Does that sound about right?
Yeah, it does.
Okay, yeah. And it is from Ida Owland, and you know how snail mail do. It basically says, there's rumors coming out of the Lizard Marsh that the ancient black dragon from long ago was not in fact killed, but has been hiding in the swamp all this time. Its intentions for Daggerford and Saltmarsh are bad. Basically, she was hoping that you could look into it on behalf of both Saltmarsh and Daggerford. But here you are, already completing. It's like when you get an email from your boss, but you already did the thing that your boss sent the email about. So it's a very good feeling. And there's some undertones there where certain spicy former adventuress does, say that she looks forward to the rains clearing and calmer times because she remembers the last time you guys had some hot scones together. And hot scones sound real nice right about now. So,
I mean, they do sound really nice now.
Yeah. I mean, on a rainy day, I lived in Seattle for a year. Rainy day scones, oh man, that's the shit
hot
right there.
tea? Oh yeah. It's erotic.
Yeah. Some people call it hot coffee. Some people call it hot scones. Whatever you want to call it. So, all right. So,
and the
Nikolai,
familiar sound of a dragonborn hitting the floor.
Yeah. Now, people do comment on your appearance now that you have these scales. This is Forgotten Realms. People are been hooking up with dragons for a long time, but nobody recalls you ever being a half dragon or a dragon blooded sorcerer. But kind of like when your buddy has like a real bad breakout, you don't want to give him a hard time about it, right? Positive body image.
Yeah.
But Krebshanker does. And he wants to know well, what the fuck is all this? As he kind of motions to your patches of black scales, he's like, are you like turning into a dragonborn, or are you all made like some kind of pact? Is it just going to be a party of black dragonborns? Like, what's the? I mean, that's
Yes.
unprecedented, right? That's unprecedented. There's never been a party of all black dragonborns.
Yes, I felt left out by a group that looked like black dragonborns, and so I'm trying to do my best to blend in with group.
Are these? Do you mind? He kind of reaches out and like gives him a little tap. I mean, are they glued on? How you doing this? Is it like a suit, like a bodysuit? What is this?
No, it's part of skin. This is how you become dragonborn, I think.
Oh, so you like a late bloomer sorcerer type thing? Like you didn't know that like your grandma hooked up with a dragon, and now you're finding out. Aren't you in like your 30s?
I am, but you always learn more about yourself as you get older, right? There's always new things to discover.
So do you think there's a chance that maybe I'm like part dragon and I just don't know yet?
You have a smile and wit of dragon, I would say, Mr. Shanker.
Oh, wow. Yeah, he blushes profusely, and he's just like, well, I mean, it's true, but still. All right, well, here's the letter out of sequence that you came by to pick up, and then he hands you the aforementioned letter. So, all right. Let's jump ahead, and we'll come back if we need to cover some more stuff. Skull, what business do you have in Saltmarsh or before leaving for Saltmarsh that you would like to cover?
Okay. Well, I guess in Saltmarsh, I definitely was worried about our crew. I wanted to go check up on them, make sure how they're faring in all this crazy hunger, people losing their minds, and our ship. Sounds like we'll be meeting it soon.
Yeah, fair enough. Again, your ship has been more or less volunteering and being compensated by the city council to protect the coastline against Sahaugan attacks.
Okay, so they're not in town.
I mean, they're close enough to town. Like, they don't ever go more than a day out of town.
That's good.
Yeah.
That's what I was worried about.
Yeah. No. Like, Saltmarsh only cares about Saltmarsh's coastline. They're not trying to protect the whole Sword Coast here. That's not what this is about. So.
And then the only other thing that we'd already previously discussed, I guess he'd hang back a little bit for going back with everyone.
Okay.
And basically, I do want to talk to Ebonfang too and see how he's holding up since the whole.
Oh, yeah. Ebonfang is very quiet, very introspective. Wide eyes, sort of seem less bright than they used to be. But part of that brightness was sort of an ongoing fear. Now they have sort of the eyes of exhausted relief, like when you've been under a lot of stress and finally that stress is gone. Sometimes you can kind of be a mess afterwards because you're so used to constantly being in that state. And then when you have that feeling removed, there's sort of this like feeling of loss almost, even though it was a negative thing. Yeah. Plus he's trying to process like his father was killed. He helped. Like his mother was a crazed like witch dragon, and tried to kill him and all of you. He witnessed probably one of the most horrifying fights he'll ever see in his life, unless he becomes like a badass boss dragon himself someday. And even then, he probably hopes he never sees a fight like that. A creature as powerful as the Bahir taken down. He's just a little guy. But he remembers making his baller nat 20 saving throw against her fear aura. He remembers like the courage that you guys displayed, the teamwork that you showed, and you could tell that all of this is going through his mind. All of this is processing.
Yeah.
He's obviously very uncomfortable with his bob being carved up into gear. Because I mean, who wouldn't be? But he's also a black dragon, and one of their instinctual habits is to, make scrimshaw out of bone and acid etching and pickling meat and all sorts of other sadistically horrible, things to dead things. So you're not sure if that is something he picked up from you guys or something he's developing on his own, but he definitely is an absolute mess as far as his emotions, his thoughts, and all that. He has not chided you or Pharos for any of your bad behavior since the fight.
Yeah,
Since
it's
the
definitely
fight.
it's throwing me off here. I mean,
Yeah.
So basically, I just want to be there for him. If he wants to talk, that's fine. If he doesn't, I will present this idea, this kind of maybe some arts and crafts.
Okay. Yeah.
Keep his mind
Coloring
off things.
books.
Yeah. No.
He's actually okay with doing some arts. He is okay with just kind of sitting down at a corner booth. He no longer has to hide because the person that was going to kill everybody to find him has been taken care of. Which also frees Luck up from his contract. So there is sort of a bittersweet moment where Luck just kind of like, without making eye contact, to Eben Fang, passes Eben Fang the wooden bowl full of sequins and colored macaroni that he's using for his arts and crafts project, and says, "All right, kid. We did what we needed to do. I told you these guys wouldn't let you down. But I got other things I gotta take care of. So this is it." And he goes to leave. Eben Fang kind of reaches out with a foreclaw and grabs a hold of his puffy hammer pants and pulls him back a little and looks up at him and says, "It is not weakness to thank a friend. So thank you for everything that you've done, Luck." And Luck just kind of like, he has like allergies real bad, and he just kind of like blinks away. There's a lot of dust in the air, I guess. He kind of blinks the dust out of his eyes, and he's just like, "I was just doing my job, but, I'm just glad it all worked out." And he kind of tugs free, not before scratching Vuthajesk behind his head frills, and then heads out. As he approaches the door, he does turn to you, Skull, and say, "We're gonna cross paths again, I'm sure. But things are gonna be unraveling pretty fast now, Skull. And the boss wants all the aces in their places."
You can count on it.
All right. So
Yeah, I do also thank him in, I guess, Thieves' Cant or whatever. Kind of the same way we just
fair
did,
enough.
But yeah,
Okay.
that's it.
Remind me to tell you something super dope about Thieves' Cant that I read today, but at the end of the session, because I don't want to interrupt the session.
Okay.
But it's a super dope thing I read about Thieves' Cant. Okay.
Just say it! Ah!
Yeah, now I need to hear it.
I'll tell you, I don't want to distract from the session. I'll tell you the other session.
Okay.
But it's a super cool mechanic. I think everybody should be using it for Thieves' Cant from now on, because it's that badass. All right. Anyways, Thogrum, to you, you track down your apprentice, your sweet boy. He is over the moon, excited about the armor. He is a gnome, so the armor is obviously too big for him. Fortunately, because it requires an attunement slot, it will magically resize to him once he attunes to it. So he does spend an hour sort of inside the armor, like it animatedly talking to you with a booming, echoing voice that echoes through the armor as he
So
fills
much
you
room
in.
for activities.
Yeah, right. As he fills you in on all of the happenings in the town. the rumor mill, as it is, there have now, beyond the crazed fits of cannibalism, the bizarre behavior of animals, the breaking of minds, the shortness of tempers, there have now been sightings of actual fucking ghosts at night in the streets, rising from the graves, rising from the water. Lots of spooky activity from this island over here. People are very frightened. And they're starting to realize that maybe all of this rain and all of these fish is not an amazing blessing by the gods of the sea. Maybe they are signs of something bad is happening. So they're finally getting on board for that. But he is trying his best, and using, your teachings and the teachings of Gond, he is trying to automate a lot of the processes for taking care of people, distributing holy water, and just generally, making life easier, because the town is definitely understaffed for clergy. It's a pirate town, so it takes a certain kind of religion to do well in a piratey town. And they're definitely understaffed. So he's glad that you're back. He hopes against hope, and he knows that it's probably unprofessional to do this, but he asks if you'll be able to stay and assist, or if you have other, if Gond has called you for yet another mission.
I just sit down and tell him, like, lad, I'll try to help out as much as I can, but my path kind of takes me elsewhere. Your path is, I believe, and with these people, I'll kind of leave you a bit to help set you up with maybe a posse or something, because I don't want you getting yourself hurt anymore. Not in the name of Gond or the name of anyone for that matter. So that's why I brought you this here armor to help take care of you a little bit. And the rest, I think, is going to be up to the decisions you make. And Thargum's going to kind of tap his head, and I know that you're a smart lad, so you'll make the best decision you can.
All right. He kind of does a pull up out of the neck of the armor. And he looks at you with an earnest look on his face, because, that's a pretty big compliment there. And he is thoughtful, and he smiles at you, and he says, "Well, I'm doing all I can, and you're doing all you can too. And we're each serving Gond in different ways. But if it comes down to risking my life, I don't need some dwarf who just fought an ancient dragon telling me to be more careful." And he says,
right.
If Gond needs my life, he has it.
And I'm sure he's glad to have it. That's for sure, lad. And I'm gonna tell him that if need be, feel free to open up while I'm gone. Feel free to open up the home to anyone that's in need, that hasn't got a safe place to stay.
Yeah. No. His eyes go wide, and he says, "Oh, actually, that would help quite a bit. Yeah. The temple is at max capacity, and we've been renting rooms, but that would actually save us quite a bit of money."
And then I'm gonna kind of ask him to help me unload the pants a little bit, because I've got quite a bit of building material and stuff in there that we jacked from the mines.
Your magic pants, they make him very happy. Now he can't help you until his armor does the magical Iron Man thing and fits to his body. But afterwards, he's definitely down to help you unload and sort and catalog all your stuff. if you have things that you need sold, he will take care of it for you, so that you can focus on more important matters. So, all right, sounds good. Illyria, returning to Saltmarsh, is there anything in particular that you needed to check in on or work on while you were back in the city?
Ooh, I would go get some food for my rats, and then I'm pretty sure, hopefully, Oakum's still at my house because I left him there.
Correct.
So I take him
because
some food.
his niece left the city and he's staying there with your rats.
Yeah, and I would want to show him my journal and like all the stuff that we just did, and just be like, oh my goodness, Professor, like you wouldn't believe the size of her. She was ginormous, and afterwards I was able to dissect her entire body, and I was covered in all of her goop and slop, but it was amazing, and I just want to like flip to like the heart diagrams and
A number of
lungs
times
and
during
everything.
your retelling of this story, his glasses just fly off of his face. Such is the surprise and disbelief at the things that have transpired in your story. But seeing is believing, and he is visibly shaken by all that has transpired. And he basically says, so you're saying that this dragon was the one who stole my research, and this dragon did in fact intend to feast upon the souls trapped beneath our city?
Afraid she was, yes.
But now that you have stopped her, what next?
Well, now we have to handle the other evil that's after those souls.
I mean, do you feel that... If only we knew more about she who hungers, this Anguillis. Obviously, she is effused with power. Her hunger has spread to all the creatures of the sea, and now even the peoples and creatures of the land. There is much to worry about, but hearing of your daring and this battle against such a powerful beast, I feel that perhaps Saltmarsh does have a chance.
I believe that as well. I think we have a very strong group, and I mean, if we have any chance, it has to be with us. I'll put my whole heart into this to make sure that Saltmarsh stays safe.
Yes, I know you will, and I will do anything I can to aid. If the town council needs to call upon my massive brain and my incredible experience, I will lend it to them.
I think that's a really good idea. I'm pretty sure they need you now more than ever.
Then I shall go right this minute, and I will tell them that this old egg, and he knocks on his forehead, is available, and then perhaps we can work together towards some sort of solution. As of now, it feels as though they're just spinning their wagon wheels.
Yes, and please message me if you have any information on what their plans are if we have to leave. I believe that we need to go to the merfolk next and see if we can
the merfolk! That would be a brilliant move. They, after all, live beneath the sea. They would probably have stories, legends, records about she who hungers that even I was unable to find.
I'll make sure to make notes of everything to share with you.
Well, be careful drawing pictures underwater. So,
yes. Well, it's okay. My family got me a very nice journal that stays waterproof through all of our adventures that we went on previously.
Yes, if they have any hippocampi, I would love to see your rendition of one. It's a aquatic horse.
Oh.
Mm.
I'll make sure to ask.
I'm also
And-
very curious how a merfolk rides a water horse, so, I don't know.
That is pretty intriguing. I wonder as well.
All right. Well, I'm off. Your
Wait.
rats. Oh, what? This?
Can I hand him a spare key? And
Oh yeah, sure.
my home is yours.
Oh, you are
Please.
too kind. With rumors of Kelledek no longer being in the city, and my notes returned, and the beast that orchestrated their theft gone, I would assume that I should be safe. Yes.
Okay, well, if you get a little tingle on your neck, you're more than welcome to come back, or if you ever need the company of rats.
They are actually surprisingly good company. They did try to make me a dress. I didn't understand why they were doing that, but if you want it, it's in the back room.
I'd actually really love that. They didn't try braiding your hair at night.
Oh, just my beard. And he kind of rubs his bald head. There's more to work with.
This is true.
I think they'll be quite happy to have you back, though.
Yes, I've missed them. And I hope they are all okay.
Yes. They were very... whichever one is leading them, he was very strict about going out. Some of them tried to break curfew, and he gave them a thrashing.
No, that's Tony.
Mm.
I just want to keep all of them safe.
He sort of looks like a Tony I used to know. Yes, well, all right. I am off. Thank you for the key, and your hospitality, and your courage. And so he kind of departs, pulling his hooded cloak up and heading out into the rain.
Okay. And then all my rats, they're okay?
Yeah. Tony, you told him that no one was allowed out after dark, so he wasn't allowing anybody out after dark. There was really no reason to forage, because they just ate all of your dry goods and supplies. So yeah, they're doing pretty good.
What's the dress look
As a
like?
side effect, though, they were not able to garner any new rumors or secrets for you because they were kind of
that's okay.
keeping it inside.
Yeah.
But they did make you a lovely dress, which is considered fine clothing and easily worth 15 gold pieces.
Ooh, really? I'll put it on and I'll get to baking with them.
Okay.
Make a cake.
Seeing you wear the dress, it's a little ill-fitting. They did make it for an old man, but they could probably hem it and things like that, and make it work. But yeah, they're very excited that you survived your time out in the swamp and have returned to them. All right. Tyria, returning to Saltmarsh, is there anything particular that you wanted to check in on or do?
I would noticing how down Ebenfang is.
Mm-hmm.
I would just contrive to be around and just be playing music, and I would try to anything that would kind of get his tail lashing back and forth a little, or get his claws clicking, any kind of get the rhythm into his body. I would kind of try to play that.
He does
sort of...
German death metal. He does still like German death metal.
That's right. So yeah, I would play some German death metal for the sequence in macaroni crafting.
I think nothing pairs better with macaroni art than German death metal. So
correct.
Yeah.
And glitter bombs.
Truth.
And then, I would go down to the sea for a little bit, but I think it wouldn't feel right. It would feel like I can't, it's not home anymore.
Oh no. Yeah, it definitely has an ominous, unwelcoming feeling. But at the same time, it also has a disturbingly welcoming feeling. There is sort of a call almost coming from the sea when you were near it, telling you to swim in and swim deep. But you, by now, are a seasoned adventurer, and you know that would definitely be folly to do so.
Yeah. I'll I'll collect a couple of fish, and like some seaweed, and like arrange it in an artistic manner, and I would bring it to Illyria, and just say like, yeah, give her the fish for Spencer, and be really muttering and like stumbling over my words and kind of like looking away most of the time, but like well, like that was really cool the way that you killed the dragon. That was amazing. And I just like, I feel like I don't even know how you got here. I wasn't here for very long before all this started, but I don't know. I just want to know a bit more of your story before this all ends one way or another.
Oh, I would ask Tyria to come in, and
yeah, I would do all of that on the doorstep, just like, okay, will you be my friend? Like,
I will embrace you in my arms, and be like, come on in, and like kind of like shove a cupcake into your mouth, and just start telling her about my life and basically how I spent the vast majority of my life with my parents, exploring the world, discovering beasts and stuff, and how it kind of just led me to Saltmarsh.
Were your parents adventurers as well?
Yes, they were scholars, kind of like myself. I had to follow in their footsteps and discover more beast than they could have. I miss them very much.
Will you go to them when this is all over?
I think it's about time to. I spent every single day with them, by their sides, and just learning from them, so I think I would love them to meet Spencer and show them all that I've learned, and perhaps get their take on how we can make like a book of all that we've done as a group.
Oh, that would be really amazing. You're a really good drawer. And then Tyria would like get up and leave. Like,
wait, you're leaving? I'll just like have like a cupcake like in my mouth. Like, wait, what just happened?
Okay, thank you for the cupcake. It was very delicious. Okay, thank you.
You don't want to stay? Do you have other things
I
to
do. I was going to check in on Nikolai and the others, but maybe I could come back and we could talk some more. I could bring Spencer some more fish.
I'm sure Spencer would love that. Yeah, you always
Spencer offers a solid honk to that suggestion. That's a good suggestion.
And then I would
Tyria.
give Illyria a big hug and say, okay, really lovely time. Okay, thank you. Bye.
Bye.
And then I would go just try to find wherever Nikolai was, see if I could run into him, and just
we'll have you guys meet up after we check in on Pharos. Pharos, as you return to Saltmarsh, is there any business that you need to attend to or check in on?
So I guess right now he's like would attune to his like new glaive. It's like but I guess in order he'll check in on Even Fang, Luck, then Skull. See like hey twerp, like like you good? Like, but
Yeah, I would assume then that you would have been there for the exchange between Luck and Even Fang and Macaroni Arts and Crafts and German death metal sort of thing. You at your own discretion, could follow Luck out, or let Luck get back to whatever business he has to take care of. Even Fang is happy to have you and Skull both alive and there. I don't know what level of skill Pharos makes macaroni art at. That's really, I think, up to you.
He kind of like, I don't know, I think he like accidentally like breaks it all the time. It's like he'll pick it up with like his gauntlets, and then he just crushes it, and it's like, oops. Like,
does that bring up like painful memories of your near perfect father, like watching you screw up your macaroni art and just sort of like staring at you, never saying he's disappointed, but never saying that he's proud of you as he watches the macaroni art that you're trying to make?
Ouch.
Oh man.
None of your macaroni art ever making it onto the cold storage box in the kitchen area? Like, is it that kind of flashback, or?
Yeah, he's like, are you, like, he tries to do like encouraging words to everything, like, oh, that looks good, and then he can't make it work. He can't.
Yeah, Even Fang looks down at his like essentially like 16th century Renaissance painting reproduction done in colored macaroni, and then he looks over at your pile of broken ass macaroni, and your hands are glued together and everything, and he's just like,
You also did a good job, Pharos. It looks. All right, I have to ask: is lying to a friend bad if it's good for their feelings?
It's not good for my feelings. It's not.
Okay. You should practice more.
Well.
Try taking your gloves off.
I guess he could like unfasten them, and like it's like a giant clunk of like gauntlet and like.
Yeah. See now try.
Is this?
Well, you just stop. Stop eating the glue. You use it to put the macaroni on the parchment. Like this. See? You see?
And he takes the little stick and he puts some of the glue on the macaroni very slowly, and then he puts it down, completing that part of his macaroni art where there's like a battalion of mounted soldiers riding off to war. And it perfectly fills out the rest of the pasta mosaic. He's like
that, see?
This is enlightening. And then like he'll try to like copy what he does very slowly. He was like studying, like taking notes level, just like you use the stick to use the glue. You don't dip the macaroni in the glue.
Yeah, then because if you dip it, you'll get your claws. You'll glue on your claws, and then they'll stick together. Yeah.
That's it's good to.
Yeah, I made this glue myself. There was a dead cat, and I melted down its bones.
Wait. Oh, that's pretty funny. Well, it's good to have you around again. Like, you're being pretty. Like, anything wrong lately? Is everything good?
But I mean, I helped kill my father and my mother, and I was attacked by the skeletal and ghostly remains of my brothers, sisters, and half-siblings. I had to own up to the darkness of my own legacy and see the future that lies in store for me if I can't overcome the evil instincts of my own species.
Hell yeah. But
so I guess it was all right.
No, it's rough. Parents can screw you up in various ways, but it's you'll like but I trust you'll get through it. However, like I have no use for all this like gold anymore, so like I'll hand them, I guess, like my share of like the gold hoard. I'm pretty sure this belongs to you, and I'll hand him my like gold share from the.
Oh, jeez. So just massive, like gallon jug-sized sacks of gold. You're just gonna like whip them out, like ka-choosh, ka-choosh.
Yeah, like this belongs to you.
You gotta
Yeah,
start a savings account
hearing that.
sometime.
Yeah, have hearing that, Kreb Shanker appears as if summoned like a fucking genie, and he's like, hey,
Not for you.
Where did you get all this macaroni? Tits, did you give them all my macaroni? You know that's expensive. And she just kind of grunts at him, and he's like, that's my macaroni. But that is a very nice macaroni art. You mind if I hang that on the wall, Eben Fang, once it's dry? And Eben Fang looks at him and says,
Yeah. In exchange for however much this macaroni costs, you can have this artwork.
Kreb kind of nods sagely, stroking his beard. I will find this trade agreeable. Alright. Also, if you need a place to store all that money, I mean, technically, I know some people that could, like, put it in a bank for you, you know? Like, we have sort of a secret bank situation. You want to start your own bank account, little guy? I mean, I've heard that a lot of forward-thinking modern dragons are banking their money now. You know? Because sleeping on money, that's not making money, you know? But when you bank it, then you can start investing it, you know? Back into your community. Why, I even heard that there is a port, like a portside tavern and bar that's looking to renovate and expand. That is looking for investors. Just saying, could be a great my first investment. Something to think about. So I'll leave you to it. And he kind of slinks away.
I wouldn't trust him even thing, but it's your money.
I mean,
funny coming from.
He knew I was here, and he saw through that silly kobold disguise. He never betrayed us.
True.
I think mostly because he was frightened of Skull. I have learned that fear is, in fact, power, and that lesson will never be unlearned.
When you get your lair, right, send me a message spell or something.
I look at Pharaohs.
Fear can break even the mightiest warrior. Until Illyria was able to master her fear, we had no chance of defeating my mother.
This is true.
Well, I mean, you two helps, I guess. But, I mean, let's be real, I mean.
And he kind of, like, looks between the two of you like you have to understand where I'm coming from. I mean,
I'm not the only one that saw it, right?
Anyways, why don't you finish your macaroni drawing, Pharos? It's coming along really nice.
I gotta catch up with Luck, I think, and then I'll come back to this later.
Okay. All right. As you head outside, a shadow whispers to you.
I thought you'd follow me a lot sooner, but you got kind of roped into that macaroni art.
It's the crafts. I never got to do it as a kid.
No, that's fine. It's fine. I mean, at least one of us got to be a cool badass, so. Did you see my dispassionate speech? How I didn't cry because I just pretended I had allergies? Yeah, that's the kind of shit that do-gooders, they just don't know how to handle, so.
Yeah, I had to make it look like you don't care about anything.
Mm-hmm. This cat don't care about shit. That kid...
He kind of looks around like the Keen and Peele sketch about saying bitch. And he kind of looks around to make sure Even Fang can't hear him.
Yeah, I didn't care if anything happened to that kid. It's whatever.
It's fine.
Yeah.
We both equally don't care about the
Absolutely.
kid.
And if something had happened to him, I wouldn't have been completely destroyed or devastated. I wouldn't have gone on a murdering rampage to get revenge for his death. Because I don't care. I don't care about him. I don't care about anybody.
Oh yeah, you didn't care about I heard you asked what happened to me after I got knocked out and pushed into the
Because
acid
you
pool.
owe me so much money. That's why. I was worried about all the money you owe me. So.
The money. Well, you gonna retire now with your share?
Oh yeah. I mean, I'm gonna retire to a nice little house by the water, and then when the oceans rise and a giant kaiju monster comes out, I'll be the first to get eaten. Seems like a great retirement plan.
Oh.
No, I'm gonna do whatever the fuck I need to do to make sure that the town doesn't get destroyed, and then I'm going to retire.
Very forward.
But only because I care about having a peaceful retirement. I don't care what happens to this town. I don't care what happens to you guys. I could care less. This cat don't care about shit.
I care about you. And then like he'll like take him by like the hand and be like I do at least. If no one else does.
All right. His ears kind of like radar dishes are looking around or listening around, and he's like,
Well, I'm just saying that if I could only not kill 2 people, it would probably be you and the kid.
Oh, well, I like that at least. I'll take those odds. Oh.
But I do have to check in with Gellin, because there's a lot that's happening, and a lot that needs to be done still. So.
Yeah. Oh yeah, you gotta do your whole cat and dog thing, right?
Cat and dog thing, right? Because he's a werewolf. Because the dog got it. Yep.
Dog wasn't teaching me jokes.
Yeah. Yep. I was there for many of the attempts. Yep. There were jokes told. So, after all this blows over, are you thinking about retiring? Because we now are essentially as rich as kings, so... I mean, why work?
I retire, but I mean, I'm not the prince of anything anymore, really, so... Whatever you
Yeah, but you have enough money, that's all people care about, you know? Money. Like, titles nowadays, that doesn't mean anything. So, as long as you got coin and connections, that's what matters.
Well, after
also, didn't you sell your soul? So shouldn't you try to get as much mileage out of your life as possible, since you're just going to hell afterwards?
I'm gonna work out the details on that, I guess, after this all blows over.
Because I was kind of under the impression that once you sold your soul, spending your whole life trying to free your soul and then having it not pan out means you sort of just wasted your whole life and then ended up with the same conclusion anyways.
It seems like you have experience with this.
I read the books, the Dritz books, so... You remember the thing with Wolfgar? It broke my heart. So, yeah, I'm not gonna bring it up. It's still too soon for me. But I'm just saying, there's no bouncing back from that shit. You might as well just enjoy what life you have left. That's all I'm saying.
Oh yeah. Well, if that's what it has to be, then I guess I could enjoy it. I'm ready. To retire.
That's what could be done. Everybody could work together and we could write our own books. Better than that fat halfling bastard Regis, and way better than that Volo guy. The Salt Bois Chronicles.
I like the sound
Salt Bois Mystery Adventures. No, Chronicles definitely sounds better.
Chronicles sounds better.
Yeah, we could workshop it. But anyways, I do have to go. And I want you to know that we will cross paths again. And if you retire at a small house next to my small house, we could just hang out more often. So I'm saying
maybe we can make a duplex.
Yeah, sure. Yeah,
that wouldn't be completely awkward. But then that would also ensure that there's personal space, which is very important. So, also, if I secretly didn't retire, I wouldn't want you to know that I was still killing people for money. So,
hey, whatever pays the bills.
I mean, I gotta keep moving up the leaderboard. So, once you're on the leaderboard, you pretty much have to keep killing. There's no way out.
You're like a shark.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep.
Then.
Yeah.
Right.
Go.
Yeah. All right. And he disappears into the shadowy murk of the rain. All right. Nikolai. Tree is looking for you. Unless you also attended Macaroni Arts, if you had left to attend, if you left to attend to other business, she would eventually find you. Where did you guys find each other? What did you discuss?
I guess she would find me in whatever room I happen to be like sleeping in.
Okay.
I don't know if I'm like out surfing at Illyria's place tonight, or I mean, we can say I'm at the inn still, probably.
Okay.
Yeah, so I'm kind of working furiously over a letter currently in my room, Tyria.
I like tap on the door. And I say like, I was down at the ocean, and it's gonna get really bad. It's gonna get really bad. I could hear her calling to me. And I just wanted to know before I die, who were the first and second of your name? I must know.
He kind of he looks a little sad, I think, when you ask him that question. And he says, "Well, Igor Konstantin was my father, and Dropov was his father. We have a very proud line until all my family was killed. I am the only one that remains."
What killed them, if you don't mind my asking?
It was something from the deeps. I'm not sure what. I went to mage school like every good mage does, and returned, and they had been slaughtered. There was nothing left. So that is why I've come to find power and answers to what might be down below that would do such things to such a lovely hobgoblin family. I think you're muted, Liz. Hello?
I mean, I'm here. I'm not listening. Yeah.
I can hear her talking down below, so I think she's talking, but I can't hear her.
Maybe.
Oh, sorry.
You can tell her to chat. Oh, she got it.
Yeah. That they would just say that I hope we are able to find the thing in the deep and get you some resolution and that we live to tell about it. And then they would just kind of like, okay, bye. They would like put their head down, like just leave.
I have this is an awkward question. Can I ask you awkward question?
Sure. What is it?
I'm writing a note. I could use. I'm not one to write love letters. Could you take a look?
Well, sure. I'm a nosy bastard.
All right. So Cat Yaru's kind of stomping on this, kind of like he's like in the room, and he's kind of doing whatever a cat would do whenever you're trying to like write something that's important. And if this works, we'll see what happens. Yeah, Tyria, I'll post it in Roll20. And he'll kind of look to you, and he'll look more uncertain than you've ever seen him, I think. So, what do you think of this?
Well, you got right to the point, didn't you? I think she'll get your meaning. Send it off.
Okay. He feels like a little like a little pumped up inside. Like maybe he knows that this art of love thing, and he'll seal it up.
All right, bye.
Okay, fine.
All right, and Tree exits into the rain. They are quick, almost smoke bomb quick, when they have reached the end of their socialization meter. All right, so empowered with this news, you can go ahead and get ready to mail off your letter. So, any other personal affairs that need to be tended to? Do you guys need a day to just sort of like decompress from the madness of that battle and all that? And if so, after such a rest, will you be following up with your local patron to get more information about this mermaid diplomacy that has sort of been hovering in the background?
Yeah, maybe I would volunteer to go with Skull to follow up on the mermaid diplomacy stuff.
Sure.
And then if we had a moment alone, I would say to him, I would look around and around and around, and probably there would be ghosts everywhere, and it would be kind of pointless to look around. But I would say,
Skull looks around too.
He's
worried now.
I mean, it's not like the end of Ghostbusters amount, like where they unlock the containment unit and there's ghosts flying around. I mean, there's been ghost sightings. There's been ghost sightings. But it's not full blown ghosts terrorizing the whole city every night kind of deal. We haven't reached that stage of the game yet.
And I would just sort of mutter under my breath, the thing we talked about a really, really, really fucking long time ago now. Do you want out?
Huh. Do I want out? I think he would say he doesn't think there is a way out. I think yeah, he kind of
But there's always a way out. I don't believe in much, but I know there's always a way out. Two ways. Death and another way.
Yeah.
Not to be super fucking morbid before we go under the sea, but
I don't think there's time. I think we have more important stuff to worry about. Maybe after this is done,
I'll work on getting you out. And then I just put my head down and walk away from him, like.
Skull, this happened to me earlier. Yeah, it's standard, I think.
All right. So.
Yeah, I would not take the day's rest because I heard someone say there was a timer earlier in the game.
Well, I mean, a voice on high meta style announced it, but yeah. I guess you have an inkling that there is a time limit because you guys did do ascending and discovered that the dragon had intended to go to the vault in, I believe it was less than 10 days from the time of that sending. So whether or not she was going to scope it out, whether or not she was going to, quote unquote, if you want something done right, do it yourself, clear the way to the vaults, or if she was planning to go there because the vaults were opening, is unknown. You just know that you did receive word that she was planning to go there. But then some people broke into her house and murdered her, so she couldn't. So, you know.
Yeah.
Hashtag rights for monsters. So, yeah.
We are a powerful group. No, we should just deal with it, right?
I mean, the NPCs that know you killed that dragon definitely think that you've got the shit that's needed to take care of this for sure. But yeah, maybe you guys agree to meet with Gellin, find out what he has to say. You guys are given some time to discuss, and then you kind of go from there. Does that sound good?
Sure.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. In that case, I'll take you over to Primewater Estate, and you guys can sort of hash out what it is he needs done, and whether or not you want to do it. Because again, this is D&D, so you could just be like, "No thanks, go to Mermaid City. That sounds lame." Yeah. So, all right. You guys arrive. It's dark. It's rainy. The guards see you. They let you in. We've done this song and dance quite a number of times. Feliza is looking as spry and beautiful as ever. As she prestidigitates the rain off of you, takes your coats to dry them, and directs you to the dining room, where Gellin is enjoying a very late dinner of cold fried chicken. What kind of a monster eats cold fried chicken? I'll tell you right now, me. I love cold fried chicken. So, as you guys enter, he looks up at you and he motions to the surrounding chairs and the rather large basket of cold fried chicken.
And Nikolai approaches. That sounds tasty.
Okay.
Tari digs in with both hands.
Okay.
A drummy and a thigh.
All right.
Do you have hot sauce, Mr. Gellin?
I got hot sauce in my bag. Sweat.
Oh, dang.
Oh, man. All right.
Feliza does begin to dote and says, well, I can bring more food if you require. It's just, he's stress eating right now, so he's just all about the meat. But I have some green beans I could bring, and some slaw, if you'd like. Maybe some pudding? She kind of looks around to see if anybody wants those items.
I mean, Nikolai winks at her when she says that.
Oh, okay. She kind of blushes. You're leveling up your old lady seduction skill block significantly. And she says, yes, I'll just go and do that. And she kind of heads out of the room. More food and more plates are set down, and a ravenous Gellin looks over at Thogrim and says, yeah, you'll have to excuse me, Thogrim. I'm as hungry as the wolf right now. And he raises... He raises an eyebrow. Yeah, he raises his eyebrow at you.
Thogrim's gonna pick up a glass and hold it up to him. Like
salute kind of thing?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. He chuckles as he sort of snaps the bone of the chicken that he's eating. It just starts crunching that too. And then kind of washes it down with whatever it is that he's drinking over there in his lead flagon. Because they don't believe in science in the Sword Coast, As a follower of Gond, you have to deal with this all the time. You try to explain lead poisoning, didn't stop them from making lead silverware and flagons and plates. It's a whole thing. Yeah. So he says, I'm still, yeah, sorry. I tried to call upon as much of my powers as I could, without actually transforming. So I built up quite a hunger during the battle. Fortunately, my men were able to cover for me, and I was able to burn a lot of it out on the way home. But there's still lingering effects. So it's absolutely remarkable what you managed to do. And I don't know. I guess Lady Daggerford can't really pursue a refund here, but that dragon was supposed to be dead. So she definitely got, she and her brother got bamboozled pretty hard. Oh well, that's the risk sometimes. Not all adventurers live up to their word. So, things are pretty bad. To put it mildly. Not to rain on the parade that is destroying such a great and powerful evil and preventing whatever she was hoping to do. There's still the very large, angry woman creature thing slumbering in the bottom of the sea that will not be slumbering for long. I think that the merfolk of Tyria might have answers for us. If anyone can get them to talk about it, I think it's you. Look at what you did with the Soriel people and the people of Saltmarsh. Look what you did with Saltmarsh and Daggerford. You create unity through your actions and deeds. I have found it to be both inspiring and very profitable. And in this case, I think it might be the solution to this problem. Now, as you probably deduced, the merfolk do not harbor any love for the people of Saltmarsh or the people of the land, but particularly the people of Saltmarsh. There is a very dark and terrible history of betrayal and horrible, unspeakable, and unforgivable crimes that were committed by the settlers of this town and their descendants and the merfolk of the region. That is why I need someone to go that can both represent the town, but also not. None among you are humans. Humans are, of course, the original settlers of Saltmarsh, but you also represent Saltmarsh, so perhaps that will help them understand the growth that we've made since that time. At no point are we asking for forgiveness. We simply want to work together to stop what's happening.
Wait, why are you not asking for forgiveness?
It seems extremely rude to ask for something that would be impossible for them to give us. I mean...
But you could at least acknowledge the great harm that you've caused.
Oh, no, yeah, please, play that up. Play that up for sure. But, like, let them know that we don't expect or and that we know, that there's no chance of forgiveness. I don't want them to think that that is the purpose of our visit.
Sounds like you have not tried to contact them recently.
I have one contact among them, and she's the one that reached out to me. Her name is Mariana, and she is extremely clever and extremely dangerous. She is my liaison, and I am hers. Secretly, we broker trade between our two settlements, as it were. I'm sure by now you know that I maybe have some contacts within the Thieves Guilds. I might know a couple of people in the Zid's Harem. I don't know. Anyways, She is like the me of her people. And they are aware of me, and my people, to a certain extent, are aware of her. And we have made some very profitable deals over the years and done some favors for each other. And this, of course, is the largest and greatest favor that she has ever asked, and what I deem to be the riskiest. I should have gone myself, but I worried that seeing me and my human appearance, they would be unable to move past the history that sort of hangs or floats, I suppose, in the water all around them. So that's why I turn to you. I don't know what I can offer that I have not already given as compensation for what you have done. At this point, my coffers are open to you, but I doubt they could compare with the sizable treasure that you have sort of, I don't want to say fallen into, but been buried under. But from one rich man to other rich folk, I can tell you that, assuming we all survive, I would be happy to teach you good ways to invest and reinvest that fortune to grow ever more fiscally powerful and influential. So,
when he says that, Thorgrim's gonna pull some like fire forge out of his jacket and or like his clothes and kind of like pour it into his drink and like kind of look at him.
Exactly. Setting up the right shipping contracts, getting products into the most influential taverns, leaving Faerun for the other continents. So these are all things that I would be happy to teach in more peaceful times. So perhaps that is what I can offer you in exchange for helping me honor this favor to Mariana. Essentially, the merfolk have found themselves in a very difficult situation, and they are without allies and facing threats from all directions. It's not so much that they've asked for aid, so much as they want information about what we are doing, and what can be done, and maybe they are asking for help. She was not very forthcoming with the details, simply that it was of great urgency and importance that representatives of Saltmarsh be sent to speak with their queen.
Do you know where we would find her?
She gave me coordinates that you
GPS
would...
coordinates?
Now, here's the thing. They live at the bottom of the ocean. It is no place for surface dwelling creatures. You will need to protect yourselves against the great depths, cold, and darkness that waits for you at the bottom of the ocean. I have, in preparation for this, secured a very powerful and expensive spell. I was going to give it to you, Nikolai, that you might transcribe it to your spellbook.
Nikolai gives him a thumbs up.
Okay.
I appreciate it.
Basically, it is the homebrew spell. I believe it's a 4th level spell. That is like a super version of underwater breathing. Let me grab that information for you real quick.
Participate in underwater adventure. Huh. 5th level. Transmutation.
Oh, here it is. I think it's called Deep Diver. Jump into it real quick. All right. Deep Diver is a 4th level transmutation spell. It costs 1 action and is touch based. It lasts for 12 hours. Alright, you adapt up to 10 willing creatures to survive the ocean's black depths, causing their eyes to become enlarged and their flesh to become hard and cold. So you guys will look like fish people, a little bit. Like yourselves, but like fish. You gain the ability to breathe water and a swim speed equal to your land speed. Your altered physiology also grants you cold resistance and immunity to pressure damage due to deep water. You also gain dark vision with a range of 60 feet, or your dark vision is extended by 60 feet if you already had dark vision. And you may generate bioluminescent stripes or dots on your flesh as a bonus action, shedding light as if through a light spell.
Okay, that sounds amazing.
Okay. So I will send you the copy pasta information if you feel so inclined as to make a actual spell entry for it, but it's so situational that, it might just be something to have on hand sort of thing.
Mm-hmm.
So
got it. Thanks.
Mm-hmm. All right. And there's a sexy format if you would just prefer to have it as that. All right. So he says, so am I to understand that you can do this mission? You'll go to the coordinates, you'll use this spell, you'll go to the bottom of the ocean, and she will be waiting for you. I know this sounds like an ominous setup, and I would be incredibly suspicious, so hopefully our time together has put us in a relationship where you don't think that I'm trying to get rid of you before some super pivotal thing is about to happen. Because now that I say it, boy, does this sound suspicious.
Well, maybe old Gellin would do that.
No, I mean, any Gellin would do it, for sure. But, I mean, this particular Gellin would very much like you to return and help save this town, so...
Insight check.
Insight check, sure. Yeah, I mean,
well, for old time's sake, do we all want to insight?
Yeah. Yeah, sure. He definitely wants you to come back. He loves you. He loves your jokes. He loves your beer, your canoes. Thogrum, if there was somebody that you needed to be the godfather of your baby dwarf, I mean,
Yeah.
where else would you go? And he he's just smiling real big, and he's like, yeah, this sounds really suspicious. I would go with you again, but the city council they need managing. They're at a point where they're either going to eat what meat remains on the carcass of Saltmarsh, or they're just going to abandon it altogether, and they need to be kept in line.
Yeah, it's a real dog-eat-dog world. Yeah.
Yes, you have made that one before, but it's still a good one.
Have I?
Yes.
Thogrum's gonna kind of like look back to himself, like, oh shit.
Yep. Yeah, I have the keen mind feat, so I remember all the jokes you've told. So
shit.
It's okay. It's okay. No judgment here. No judgment here. Yeah, I have a nose for sniffing out repeat jokes.
Shit.
Well,
how is Mrs. Primewater?
Last I checked, she was furious. So it's gonna be a lot of counseling when this is all over with. So.
Furious?
I had to entomb her alive. So.
What?
Oh, did you not infer that from our last conversation? Were you not here?
Oh, maybe with that when Greg and I were.
Oh, and he kind of looks embarrassed and he blushes and he's like, yes, Tari, she I hate to bring this up again. She succumbed to the madness calling out from the sea and ate one of our servants.
Oh, dear.
Yeah, well, she and I had discussed this possibility that if either one of us ever did that, there was, sort of a contingency in place to deal with it.
Sure.
Yeah, so I just, poisoned her blood and then locked her in her consecrated coffin and buried her beneath the basement floor and all that sort of stuff. So, you know the things that people do when they love each other.
Of course. Yeah.
Yeah.
I hope to one day find the kind of love that would be willing to bury me under their
Well, I mean, I
basement
don't want to salt an old wound, but I feel like the succubus of Daggerford certainly would have been that sort of person for you.
But she didn't want to bury me. She wanted to drag me down to the 9 hells. I mean, that's, I suppose, technically a sort of burying.
I mean,
I'll give you that.
My wife gave me some of the highlights from her divinations. She seems to think it was some pretty deep love, and from what she described, very spicy stuff. So, anyways,
Harry blushes a bit and reminisces fun, like their eyes go dreamy.
I have this leftover ice cream. It's starting to get the freezer burn, so you're gonna have to eat it, sir, because I refuse to throw it out. It's too expensive.
Nikolai winks at her again.
Okay, she kind of looks back at you.
And he kind of like, can I have a little bit of your cream?
You
Before she hands it to him, Spencer's gonna jump up and eat the ice cream.
Okay, fair enough. Oh!
Cat Yara just smokes a cigarette and says life is shit.
Oh, dang. This nearby monkey asks you if you could light its cigarette off of your cigarette because it doesn't have a lighter on it. So
the kitty cat walks over.
Okay. All right. Fair enough. She laughs watching Spencer eat all of the ice cream and says, "Well, that's one way to deal with it. I hope he's not lactose intolerant. These are very nice wood floors."
Only on command. Only on command.
And only on rugs.
Yeah.
All right. So, yeah, Primewater says, all right, well, hopefully, on the other side of all this, my beloved will be able to rejoin us and have her mental faculties back under her control for the most part. So, with these coordinates, the contact information, you'll simply go to the bottom of the ocean and you will wait for her to come to you. That was very explicitly said that you don't want to wander off. ... ellipses. So, just to make sure you guys know what you're looking for, you do know what a mermaid is, right?
We have seen some.
Okay. Alright. Unlike the tattoos that you're going to see on a lot of the sailors, like, they are more fish than person. So, if you're expecting to see, like, a half person, half fish, I'm telling you right now, it's like 80% fish. So don't freak out. Alright. Well, no time like the present. I don't know when you plan to ship out, but from what I understand, your ship should be returning to harbor before midnight. So I leave this to you. Is there anything that you need me to take care of here in town while you're gone, in addition to managing the council and trying to shore up our defenses?
I make sure you have luck not do anything, particularly dangerous.
Why would I need to do that?
No reason. Just no, just.
I didn't know if maybe he
be-
was injured during the fight against the dragon and was hiding his injury from me.
Just I'd like to see him after all this is over. So.
You'd like to see him do what?
No, I'd like to see him.
Are you trying to hire him? Because
Sure.
he works for me, but you could subcontract him, I suppose. You need someone killed?
Yeah, or just buy out his contract. How does that work?
I mean, I don't own him. I mean, he works for me. I just pay him better than everyone else.
Good to know. Good. And can we get a lair for this little guy? I'll motion out to Ebon Fang. Is there a cave that we could buy?
A cave? Why have a cave? Modern dragon, modern times. Why don't you just buy a house? You have money.
Do you want a house or a cave? I'll look down at Ebon Fang. Sure.
Even Fang is deep in thought about it.
What are the benefits of each?
Well, a cave.
Because I've been giving a lot of thought to what Kreb Shanker said. I want to be the kind of modern dragon that invests in his own investments. Did you know that there's a tavern down by the docks that is also a bar, and it's trying to do some renovations?
Do you want your lair to be a tavern?
I know that seems
amazing.
too loud. That seems
But
really
even
loud.
Fang, you don't even drink.
Well, I mean,
He kind of looks away from you, Illyria. It's like, of course not.
that's would be irresponsible.
And he kind of gives a hard look at Pharos and Skull, as if to say, "Don't say anything."
All right, I'll nod. He nods and
I would be really mad.
he gives a knowing nod.
Yeah, there's that old house on the hill you could always renovate and.
Kelodek's Tower. Oh.
No.
Oh, the house that crawls?
Yeah.
I've been keeping that. We've been keeping the deed for that for you guys this whole time. Remember, because we initially discussed your payment could be either the ship or the house, and you chose the ship, but then nobody wanted the house, so I'm just sitting on the deed for it.
Yeah, I mean, it's totally there. It's got a nice little cave underneath you.
Do you guys want the deed to the house that crawls? Because you can have it. It's the least I could do for what you've done so far.
Yeah, I mean, sure, why not?
Yeah.
All right. I would say that we could start renovations on it, but we're a little busy at the moment. But that seems like an ideal situation. There's a big underground section from all the reports that I've received that would be perfect for you, Even Fang. Close to the water, underground, but you could still go upstairs and, hang out. And if you miss the city, you could just fly and visit. Even Fang looks really thoughtful.
Yes, I'll be a modern dragon with his own house and servants that live there. You can all live in my house and be my servants.
Yes, and we can teach you all sorts of things, right, Eben thing?
Yes. This would be a very good idea. Wolf creature, I will take this house.
And his eyebrows kind of rise up, and he says, "Wolf creature, you will take this. All right. Consider it the property of the Salt Bois. I will have somebody transfer ownership of the deed this week."
Well, look at that. That's great. We should celebrate. The lad's got his own little lair.
All right. Even Fang is like,
I'm gonna need a secret door to lead to my area where all my money's gonna be. So, Dogrum, Mr. Fireforge, how much is a secret door gonna set me back?
Lad, after everything we've been through, I'd love to make you a secret door. The first one to be on the house.
Oh, okay. Because I don't have my money with me, because I gave it all to Krebshanker. He was gonna put it in his. He was gonna put it in his secret bank. He said that it'll grow into more money by the time I get it back.
Oh, he's just gonna kind of look at Skull and Pharaoh's like.
Better to have people owe you money than to you owe others money. So.
Yeah, see?
I mean, you're not wrong.
I'm pretty sure he's just going to take it and spend it all. So.
And Kreb is really good with money because he has his own bar and tavern.
Skull, do you want to pay Kreb a visit? Or
and his house has a roof?
Oh my goodness. He's going to use it all on his wedding. You basically just paid for his wedding.
Yep.
No,
I mean, how much
he's
money
going
did
to
you
put it in
possibly-
a secret bank, and then I'm going to get more money when I go back to get it. Friends don't deceive each other.
Thagram's just thinking about how much Fireforged ale he could give to Kreb to make his business profitable.
I mean, there's not a lot of competition in town, so the empty net does all right. You get the feeling that it's a shithole by design, and less because of funding. Yeah. It's sort of like flying low under the radar, right? Like when you're doing like surveillance and you disguise yourself as a hobo, like that's kind of like the empty net's MO. Is yeah.
Well, has anybody wanted to own a bar? Anyone have a desire to?
But based on all of the establishments in town, you're pretty sure you could put all of them out of business except the cop bar if you really wanted to. It wouldn't be too hard. And Lobster Wine would definitely be the first one to go because the rebranding went terrible. Brunch has been a mixed bag. It's a whole thing.
Scandalous review by local hero.
Oh yeah, yeah.
No.
Someone wrote a scathing and well thought out 57-page 1-star review, and they've been struggling ever since. So yeah.
All right. Jeez, should we deal with Kreb right now?
I'm sure it'll be just fine.
I mean, if he steals Ebonfake's money, I know it's going to happen. Which isn't a bad thing, per se.
It'll be fine. It'll be fine.
There are many
Ebonfake will get his money back.
Like to invest in societies.
Yeah, I guess I would tell Ebonfake that not everyone you meet will be friends, so you need to be careful. We are friends, but people you meet for first time might deceive you, so you should be careful.
I've known Kreb for a long time. I stayed at the Empty Net for a long time while you were out adventuring.
That is not long time in this world. So you should be more careful, I think, in determining who your friends are.
Are you saying that he betrayed me?
I do not think so. But
are you saying that he deceived me?
I do not think so, but you should be careful just going forward.
I will be careful not to choke on his bones.
Yes.
All right.
Tyria starts playing a little bit of German death metal.
Nikolai's not going to stop him from thinking that.
The hour is late. We can descend upon him.
Well, you should not.
Darkness.
No, you should not kill him. You should. I think this is too sudden. He may still be friends. No.
Oh, I guess. I mean, I had a good feeling about him, so.
Well, that is good. You should trust your feelings generally, but also be careful.
And he didn't charge me for any of that macaroni.
Yeah, if he does not pay you your money, then we can go talk to him.
Okay. Yeah, Primewater just watches this exchange with great interest. He's fascinated by the idea of nature versus nurture and good and evil. So he watches the whole thing like a scholar, just kind of watching the interactions. And he says, despite his appearances, Kreb is extremely proficient. I have him manage some of my money as well. So
maybe Gellin, you could just speak to him about the lad's money, if you don't mind.
Of course. I mean, how much money was it?
Enough.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, listen. Kreb didn't get where he is by double-crossing powerful people. So, you guys aren't just some idiots off the boat. So, if he said he's gonna take care of the kid's money, he's gonna take care of the kid's money. There's no reason to choke on his bones. All right, across town, in the nicer part of town, Kreb wakes up in a fancy bed with a plush comforter, beautiful woman next to him. What's wrong, sweetheart? And he's like, I just had a really bad feeling, you know? I don't know. You think we could sleep with the oil lamp on? Is that all right? She just kind of pats his head, turns on the oil lamp, soothes him back to sleep. He's haunted by nightmares all night, though.
No.
Something haunting him in the shadows.
He can feel his bones grinding as he sleeps.
All right. So, off to your boat? Question mark? Or do you have any other? Or do you want to spend the night in town and head out in the morning? I don't know what break that pace you're at. You want to sleep on the boat as you head off to the area you need to go? I'm gonna move you back to your start page at least.
He said that the boat was gonna come at midnight.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it's only a couple hours from what time you guys are meeting with them already. So, because you took your, you had to travel back to town, you had all your other business to take care of. Now you're back in town, all that jazz. So.
Yeah, whatever. I'm flexible.
Okay. So you guys are here in Saltmarsh. In order to get to the mermaids, hold on a second. There we go. All right. So the merfolk that are near Saltmarsh are actually not too far out of town. As these things go. But they are very deep down towards the bottom of the ocean. So they're only about 150 miles away. So if you have your crew sail at night, and then again during the day, you guys could long rest there and sort of head over to the coordinates and then do your thing. There will be time during the travel for Nikolai to transcribe the spell, paying whatever associated cost wizards have to pay for that sort of stuff. So, as you transcribe it to your spell book. Unless you're just going to cast it once off the scroll and never have the spell again. But that seems very sad.
Yeah, I'll put it in the book. Yeah.
Okay. All right. Either way, you guys would have gained the benefits of a long rest, and are now fully living your best life in your new level up. And I guess I could take you over to your ship. So here we go.
How many in real life months has it been since we've been on our ship? I feel like it's been a long time. I'm excited.
Yeah. It's been a little while. So, let's see. Let me make sure your ship is still here. Oh, there it is. Let me scrub any painful memories that might be on the ship. Oh, that's right. You guys haven't taken any crazy reckless risks with it and got a bunch of people killed, so that's good. Let's see. Oh, that's right. All your peeps are alive still. That's sweet.
And is it Captain? Who's the captain? Is it Captain Skull or Pharaohs? I forget where we are with our.
We hired a captain.
Marshal
Oh.
Novak has been the acting captain.
Okay.
Yeah, you guys are sort of the owners of the ship. So, I mean, it's one of those things that, like, you know, when the owner of the baseball team shows up, everyone's like, yeah, you're the captain of the baseball team, wink, kind of thing. Yeah, so if you guys were so inclined to want to play pirates or sailor, they would definitely find things for you guys to do. But at this point, they are a fully functional crew. Like they know what they're doing and all that jazz. All right, so let me bring you over to that map real quick. Just scrubbing anything bad that might still be on there. So, all right, looks like it's good to go. Because you did murder a bunch of like angry Sahaugan last time you were on the boat, if I recall. It's true. It's true.
Oh, while on the ship, can I pull out the teeth and kind of just lay them out in front of me and start crafting some bolts?
Oh, absolutely. Yep.
And then I'll save 3 and start crafting necklaces with them. Kind of like the one that Skull made for me.
Cool. Okay. All right. So you should see your lovely ship and crew. They are tired, but they are also excited to have you aboard because they remember the last time you hung out and you literally walked across the ocean like Jesus Christ Navy SEAL Team 6. And just like, I think at one point someone picked up a shark and beat another shark to death with it. It was pretty crazy. There was some crazy times. So, yeah. Also, rumor has already spread, slowly, that you guys were up to some business. But the town is in a turmoil right now. So they don't know the specifics, and they definitely want to know what you guys have been up to. Do you drop that juicy info on them of all the craziness that you've gotten up to since the last time you hung out with them, or do you leave them guessing?
I have no reason to keep secrets, but like I could tell them what I did explicitly, but like I don't know how far back they are. As far as
they just heard that you guys were doing some work in the swamps.
Well, yeah. It's like, yeah, that dragon, like the poison kiss. Yeah, we failed her. Yeah. It's like,
Damn. Yeah, they're all just sort of like nodding, like, huh.
Yeah, it's
like
he plays it off like no big deal. Like if you want more of the details, I'm sure one of the others could let you know. We got the new, I would say, lizardfolk king over there, champions. Like I point over to Skull.
They all kind of look over at Skull. They look back at you. And then someone's like, I be asking his question in full sincerity. Can you just be a king of the lizard folk if you aren't a lizard folk?
Oh, I don't. They made it work somehow. Yeah.
Oh, no. They all kind of chuckle. There's no question about what works and what doesn't work. Look around at this beautiful, varied crew. We're not asking about that. I just thought the lizard folk kind of kept to their own.
Well.
Is there... I mean, have we asked too many tough questions for you?
No. I just don't want to speak for... But, they're pretty, friendly.
No,
like,
right?
As far as I know. But as far as my interactions with them, they've been pretty good. Not kind of swampy though for my taste.
There is some chuckles at pretty swampy for my taste. They're pirates and smugglers. They get your crude joke. You crude boy, you. All right. They do shamelessly ask how much money you got, because they have heard stories that dragons have tremendous wealth.
Like Ferris narrows his eyes and says, "Enough."
They all kind of look around with big smiles. Oh, enough, he says. Oh, why don't you tell us? Is enough to buy more ships?
I lost count. I'll put it that way.
Oh, he lost count. And there are some huzzas from everyone, and they shout over, "Hey, Captain Marshall, did you know they found so much treasure that this one here lost count of how much they found? I think we'll be getting more ships soon." And they all begin to sing pirate shanties and cheer. Someone gets their accordion out, and they just start going to town on it. You're not sure if you should tell them that you're not buying more ships for the fleet, or if you should just let them be happy. It's one of those awkward misunderstanding situations, I think.
I'll let them revel in. It's like, hey, if we don't all die, like I'll just think like, oh, maybe after it's all over, maybe I can buy a new ship. But for now, they could, like, if they're content with this one, we'll make it work for the next couple of weeks.
All right. So, as you are sailing about, the conditions are miserable. The pace is very, very slow. Is there anything that you guys want to do while you are on the ship in preparation for your underwater meeting with the merfolk?
I'll certainly scribe the deep diver scroll, so we're good to go.
Crash, can I use a divine intervention?
You can. Given the conditions of the sea and the weather, it is going to take you to travel 150 miles by ship. It is going to take you almost 2 days to reach the location. So like a day and a half or so. So that is, noteworthy, I guess.
Yeah, for like the first day, like when we leave, I just kind of like to say a prayer for like Saltmarsh and then for my acolyte and stuff.
Okay. For sure. And then, whoa, you're gonna do ascending, and you're asking your not your sending, your commune. That's what you're doing, to ask three questions.
No. Divine intervention.
You're just gonna try to do divine interventions every day?
At least this first day to try to like.
Okay.
Help protect him.
Sure.
And town.
Okay. Go ahead and give me a percentile roll.
What? Oh.
Oof. Wow. That's
Is that another 100? What?
Well, no, he didn't put a 1, so it just automatically tells you whatever is after the D. So, like if I did a D 33333, right?
So
or no, I guess you did do it. Yeah. Oh my god.
I clicked on the D100. Yeah.
Holy
on
shit!
the roller.
2 in one night. Okay, so on divine intervention, low is good, high is bad. So.
But a critical?
I mean, it's the opposite end of a critical. Yeah. So basically, you pray to Gond, a deity, and you ask him to go check on your apprentice and keep him safe. Yeah. So you're pretty sure that it did not go. It did not go over well. But you know, it is what it is. You didn't get struck down. You still have all your clerical powers. Everything seems fine. So there's that. Okay.
That makes me sad.
Yeah. You were aiming for the other.
Away.
You're waiting for the other end of the spectrum on that one, unfortunately. Okay. So the next day, of travel, weather gets better the further away from Saltmarsh you get. This is the first time in a long time that you guys have not been just drenched by rain. You do kind of look back and you just see this constant storm front that is just sort of hovering over the Saltmarsh region as you finally pull out of it. And you see with your eyes that have been in this sort of dim Pacific Northwest in rain season climate, the sun. And it is bright and bold and beautiful if you're into suns. When you first sort of see it coming out from the clouds, it's kind of like a miracle almost. So it is pretty obvious that whatever is happening with the weather is localized to Saltmarsh. Look at that bright ass water. Ba-dang! As the sun comes out. Maybe? I don't know. It might still be dim, but I think it's bright. Alright, so anybody have any other business? Otherwise, I will you could do your commune, I guess. Or if you said you were gonna ask questions, or are you just doing the
No, I was just
divine intervention?
I was just gonna use divine intervention to kind of
okay. Fair enough. I mean, you might as well. Like, you have the ability. You might as well try to get it to happen.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So, to the best of your knowledge, your prayers went over like a fart in church. In that particular request,
mm-hmm.
you got a rumbly feeling in your heart/tummy that Gond was a little too busy to be checking in on an apprentice with all the other astral and celestial affairs that are currently being dealt with.
I mean, it's raining outside, the weather's bad.
So, as you sort of continue on your journey, heading towards the place, the crew actually is pretty tired because they have sort of sailed through the night after a day of patrolling and chasing off Sahaugen and other threats. If anybody did want to play sailor/pirate, they would gladly allow you guys, or welcome, not even allow you, it's your ship, they would welcome any sort of assistance so that they could get some shut-eye during the day.
Yeah, I'll help out. I'll go into the crow's nest and relieve the person that's up there.
All right, sweet. Sly Theodosia Webb is very happy to get to rest her eyes, and thanks you, gruffly, as she climbs back down the ropes and goes to find a hammock, get some sleep.
Yeah, I'm also happy to help.
All right, sweet. So, Shaggy Lamb, he tells you, like Jinkies and etc. It ain't easy being a bard on this boat. Best of luck to you, as he goes to find a hammock to sort of lie up in for a little while.
I can help to steer the ship, I think.
Oh, wow. All right.
Right, this either navigator or water vehicle, or no?
Yeah. Both of those
Yeah.
would be good. Yeah.
All right.
So the captain, as you kind of explain, or remind him of your training, he gives you a weary smile and says, many thanks. I could definitely rest my eyes for a bit. These are the coordinates, so you're just going to keep your bearing like so, and there's not as many markers without the stars, but I think you've got the right of it. So here you go.
Yeah, rest up, and if we have any questions, we'll come find you.
All right. And he kind of trips over this little doll, and he's like, I think you dropped this. There you go.
Who does he hand it to?
He hands it to you, Nikolai, as he goes to find a place to rest.
I'll take it, even though I didn't drop it.
Its glassy porcelain eyes stare up at you.
Where's Thogrim? Thogrim, you're supposed to take care of it.
No, it's Even Fangs.
Oh, that's right. I forgot.
All right. Even Fang is flying. So he is flying around the ship, chasing after the ship, dive bombing fish and bringing them to Spencer. Spencer is honking in approval as he brings them fish. So they're having a pretty good time.
That's adorable.
I love it.
Cat Yaru's doing like the Titanic thing, but there's no one behind him.
Aww.
It's okay. He's enjoying the sea air.
Okay, that's fair. Fanning those wings. It's got to be a good feeling. All right. Yeah. So because this ship does not do a lot of long distance voyages, it always has some pretty good food. So you're not stuck with rum rations and hardtack. You have fresh meat and vegetables and all that good stuff. So the meals are actually pretty enjoyable. There is, of course, plenty of rum available. And overall, your journey at sea seems to be going rather well. All right. The day goes, the night comes, continue sailing. The pace is kind of a little bit slower at night, but not too bad, and you maintain your pace. The morning comes, continue sailing. And towards afternoon time, you do arrive at the pre-designated coordinates. At your current level with your proficiency bonuses, you're not under any kind of duress. You've left the bad weather behind. You have a well-trained and experienced crew. No random encounters came up. No complications. So you have reached the coordinates. Now would be the time, Nikolai, to turn everybody into fish people. Unless you have any other final preparations to make before you sink. Oh yeah, also, how are you going to sink to the bottom of the ocean, and who are you taking with you? Those are all things you should probably sort out.
Give my unfamiliarity. How deep does an anchor usually go? I mean, eventually, it's finite, right? But how long?
It's certainly finite. Yeah. How? Okay. Let's see.
I mean, I feel like 100 feet is like pretty typical. I mean,
I'll look it up real quick.
Out of character stuff.
Yeah. All right.
Maybe 200. I don't know.
All right. Well, while I'm looking that up, they are. Let's see. Modern anchors can go as far as 1,000 feet, which is pretty intense. Let's see. I'm trying to look for old-timey anchors.
What about magical anchors?
Sure.
Yeah. I agree with what Illyria said.
I mean, if you're looking for you're basically gonna ride the anchor down to the bottom of the ocean. Is that the plan? Let's see. Anchors. Let's see. Depending on the size of the ship, they can go sometimes as much as 1,440 feet long. But that's on a huge ship. This is an old-timey ship.
I mean,
yeah. Man, no one's ever asked me this question because
I could just use creation and just create like
an anchor,
a large,
a submarine,
like a long ass chain for the anchor. Yeah.
Ooh.
Or
That's
just
cool.
a brick to take us down to the bottom.
Yeah.
Yeah. You could just you guys could just tie yourselves to a heavy ass object and just kind of drop with that. So
Sinking canoes.
yeah, it's just they're very superstitious about dropping anchor, because dropping anchor is, you don't normally do that too frequently, because it's like, you want to keep your mobility, especially on a smaller ship.
Could they kind of like circle around?
Oh, for sure, yeah.
And then like Thogrim could do his brick thing.
Honestly, if you want the anchor itself, you could have it, because they really don't use the anchor that often.
Yeah, I mean either way.
Yeah.
I can waste a 5th level spell slot and get us down there like.
Oh my god.
Oh no.
They don't need it when they go to like port.
I mean, if they moor the ship up on the docks and stuff, they really don't need to drop it.
Sorry, was a great idea.
Yeah. No, I mean, riding the anchor down is cool. It's just, it's really deep out here is the thing. And also, this is dangerous fantasy world, and you don't want to drop an anchor on something's head and then have it get super pissed at you, grab the anchor and pull your ship under the water. There's like a lot of reasons they try to not do that. In shallower water, it is actually a technique for them to drop anchor and use it to make sharp turns and stuff like that.
Could we just swim down or no?
Could you just float down to the bottom? I mean, you guys have heavy. Yeah, you guys. You would definitely get there faster and save time if you sunk yourselves to the bottom for sure.
Yeah, we could teleport ourselves down, I think.
Dogram's gonna walk in his pants and he's gonna start offering people like bricks. But
Okay.
Yeah, honestly, like as a normal person, if you just had like a heavy thing, like Thogram's saying, if you're just holding some weights, that would be enough to slowly make sure that you're sinking towards the bottom. So,
Mr. Thogrim, can I have 2 bricks from your pants?
Yeah, sure. And I'm just gonna walk back to like, just start bringing out loads of bricks, like, and like standing at the doorway, like offering them, like,
You always have the best bricks, Mr. Thogrim. This is great.
And then at some point, I want to walk over to like one of the ballista and kind of measure it, and then take it back to like the pants and see if I can fit a ballista.
Oh my god!
And the front door of my pants.
You want to put a
So let me get this
ballista
straight.
in
You're
your pants?
Standing there and staring at the ballista, and then looking down at your pants, and then staring up.
Mr. Thogrim, is that the ballista in your pants, or are you happy to see someone?
So, pant opening, ballista.
Fire out of doorway from. Yeah, I get what you're saying.
Bad guy.
You may have to disassemble parts of it, like when you're trying to get a big piece of furniture into a small like doorway and then put it back together. But I would assume as a higher level forge cleric that is certainly something that you could do.
Yeah, I was curious what the opening for the
Could you just
pants
make
is.
a ballista with the
I think it's in the description of the pants, like how big the opening is.
Is it?
like a doorway?
Yeah, I know, because the other group had a huge ass item they were trying to get in there, in their version of the pants, and they were unable to do so, and they were very salty about it. So,
The
Are
salty
they also
boys.
the salty boys?
no, they are the generous crew because they are so kind and generous. Yeah.
They're really bad.
Yeah, it's
They're,
all,
they're super evil. They're super evil.
Really? I haven't
Yeah.
watched any of their stuff.
Yeah, they're bad news bears for sure. Let's see. They're not sweet and kind like you guys are. But even though they're bad guys, they do care about each other, which is very, very nice to see. So, and proof that evil parties can actually work. So,
So it looks like it's 5 feet. Maybe it just says as an action you speak a command word to open an extra-dimensional doorway in a 5-foot space in front of you. This doorway is an open arch without a door. It lasts until you speak the command word again.
yeah, I think it's just the size door of a building. Like, I think it was what we determined in the other thing. So it's like, like maybe 3.5 feet across, maybe like 7 feet tall.
So what you're saying is I could fire a ballista out of it.
Absolutely, yes. You could fire a ballista out of your pants. Absolutely.
Sick. Sick.
Yep.
Thogrum just got an idea.
Okay.
Better not open your pants underwater, though.
It will fill up with ocean, so please
Yeah.
don't open your pants underwater.
Interesting.
An idea for another day, perhaps.
Though you could fill your pants up with the ocean, then open your pants up not in the ocean and flood an area with a tremendous amount of seawater.
Yeah, it's like 90 by 30 by 20 or something like that. Yeah, that's
Yeah. That's like a swimming pool. Yep.
interesting.
Very big swimming pool. But then it would also probably wash out all of the nice stuff in your place, so it's like a whole. That's a
Yeah,
whole
we're
thing.
kind of we're committed to it right now. So
Yeah. But you have like the tavern from Cheers in there, and your son cousins have like a torture dungeon. So there's
Really?
yeah,
that's great.
it's a different flavor. It's a different flavor of game.
It
Anyways,
really is day and night with us.
yeah, if you guys, but it's interesting because you guys are mostly goody people, and you play at night, and they're super evil, and they play in the day. So there's sort of that juxtaposition there.
Yeah.
But waking up
All right,
early.
Yeah,
Yeah, it
waking
puts
up
me in a
early
bad
on a Sunday
mood.
makes you evil.
Mhm.
So go ahead and jump into this circle if you are sinking down to the bottom of the ocean.
Just for Cat Yar's sake, I'll put him in a pocket dimension for a little bit.
Okay.
He doesn't want to get wet.
Yeah, he appreciates it a lot. He does inform you telepathically that if you are not going to cast a spell that turns him into a cat, bird, fish, he requests very humbly that you do not summon him while you are underwater.
Alright, I'll take that into account.
If you want to turn him into a cat, bird, fish, he's okay with it, because if you do need to summon him, then he won't die from the pressures of the bottom of the ocean.
All right, I'll take the very good hint from the DM, and I'll do that.
Well, it's actually Katyaro's player messaged me directly and asked me to sort of mediate this conversation because they were too nervous to contact you directly. But they were like, "What if he decides to summon me underwater and he hasn't cast a spell on me in advance?" I'm like, "Well, you would be turned into jelly." And then Katyaro was like, "That would not be good."
He would not do that. He'd be very
Okay.
sad. Yeah, we'll do that.
So he looks like a hybrid fish, cat, bird creature now, and then you put him in your Pokemon Pokemon dimension. Got it. All right. Yeah, Even Fang lines up. He wants to be a fish person, if that's allowed. Otherwise, he'll stay on the ship.
Yeah, no, for sure.
I want to be
think-
a fish person. So.
All right. So let's see. Okay. Spencer, already sort of a fish. Not really. He's
Yeah.
a dinosaur. Yeah, he's a dinosaur. We all know that. All right.
Yeah.
Eh? Oceanus asks, hey, I know we haven't really hung out in a while. Ever since that thing with Miss Payne's house.
Just gonna glare at him.
But
yeah, aren't you from where we're going?
Wow. I am a sea elf, Skull. I am not a merfolk.
Get in the water.
Look at these gams. And he shows you his legs. You see how toned and beautiful these are? You know what I call these gams? Legs. That is how you know I'm not a merfolk. But you want me to go with you? Alright, I'll come with you. Shh. I don't require no fancy spell either. So.
Well, you seem so eager, so yeah.
But I mean, I'll take it if you're giving it out, because I'd be magic. So. Alright, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Alright. Anybody else? You got room for one more if you want to force one of your NPCs to go down there.
Can Buddy go down?
Yeah, do you cast it on Buddy?
Yeah, why not?
Alright. Buddy's eyes widen and they become like scribbles, like a little kid tried to cross out his eyes. No, that'd be horrifying. No, the spell does not work on Buddy because he is just an object. So you can still cast it on one more person. Because Jeremy Crawford says you have to be nice when people accidentally cast a spell incorrectly. That's what he said. It's alright, because in October I'm divorcing myself from all nice DMing stuff. It's gonna be murder 24/7. So anyways, by the way, I'm starting a West Marches in October. I'll get you more information about it later. It has nothing to do with the statement I just made, though.
Really?
Oh, friends can't lie. Yeah, it has totally to do with the West Marches I'm gonna start. All right, in that case, Salisaire, make sure that you are looking fine as hell before you head down there. Nikolai Constantine III of his name. It's been a while since they've been able to give you the proper, treatment, make you look as handsome as possible. If we played with a comeliness score, you would have a +2 bonus to your comeliness score. That's how well they have you dolled up for this thing.
If only.
All right. Aurora has not offered to play any chess with the king of the lizardfolk after hearing that you're the king of the lizardfolk. She didn't want to endanger your chances of being king of the lizardfolk by having a non-lizardfolk mistress, so she's been giving you your space. Just to give you a quick update on that, Skull.
If she ever says that, I say I have no idea what he's talking about.
And she says, your brother told me everything. I want Pharaoh's laugh as my ringtone. So. All right, so each of you has 1 or 2 or 3, depending on your bulk, quote unquote, Fireforge brand bricks. You're never gonna find a finer brick than a Fireforge brick, and each of the bricks has the Fireforge logo, fucking branded on them, so that you know where you got these fine bricks from. Good stuff. All right.
Thanks. Oh, I always got to get that plug in.
No problem. All right, so let me put on some spoopy underwater music so you can delve down into the spoopy underwater realms.
I hope Gon isn't too offended I'm not using the gun blade anymore, and I got this cool glaive.
What do you mean? Why would Gon be offended? Gon's got nothing to do with you. You worship, you have a deal with that evil devil guy, remember?
Oh, is it Shahiba?
Yeah. Wink. Yep. So. All right. So down we go. Spooky underwater music queued up. All right. Boop. All right, it should be pretty dark down there. Maybe too dark. Hold on. Should be over here somewhere.
Yep.
Oh, I should probably turn on I have to ask, are any of you actually using the bioluminescence to become the only light in the darkness at the bottom of the ocean?
Yeah, I would. I like it.
Okay.
But...
All right. I think the macro maybe still works. I don't know. They tried to force like a dynamic lighting update on people that were still using old school dynamic lighting. I think it broke my light macro again. And I'm just getting worn out on fixing it all the time.
It works for me right now.
Oh, okay.
Like I turned on the lamp.
Oh, okay. All right. There we go. All right. So you are down at the bottom of the ocean, and it is dark. There are some busted ships. There are some rocks. The ground is made of a fine white silt. Anyone with training in knowledge nature knows that this is basically the bone meal of the ocean.
This is basically the bone meal of the ocean. No big deal.
Also, while I appreciate excellent role-playing and voice acting, I would ask that everybody not sound like they're underwater, even though it sounds like you're underwater.
Man, I got
it's
out
like in the movies when they,
and everything.
yeah, it's like in the movies when they talk in German for one line and then they switch back to English so that everybody doesn't have to read subtitles. Like, you guys are definitely underwater talking and sounding like a bunch of murlocs, but yeah, we don't have to experience it firsthand. If you really want to, I guess you can though. But that is what it would sound like when you guys are communicating under the water. So, all right, Katiaro looks over. Did you summon Katiaro back out of her its Pokeball?
Yeah, he's back.
Okay, he's so glad he messaged the GM for help. So glad he did not want to get turned into jelly at the bottom of the ocean.
This gets summoned and it's like, why existence pain? Like, why?
Yeah.
This gets summoned.
He thinks a lot of this stuff through. He thinks a lot of this stuff through as a familiar. All right. So yeah, you're just down there. There's, a current kind of going through to kind of pushes things to and fro.
And we're at the
occasionally clouds of silt rise up from the ground.
And we're at the precise GPS coordinates that we were asked to show.
Well, I mean, with your super big brain, navigation tools, and sailing, and the captain double-checked, and everybody kind of chipped in. You guys are pretty confident this is where you're going to be. There might have been some drift. You could certainly walk around if you need to.
Is this actually like part of a boat over here?
Yes. Yeah, that is the busted hull of a ship that is, just kind of chilling in a basically almost like a quicksand morass. Is that how you pronounce it? Of silt, basically.
But if they told us like not to go anywhere, I guess I'll sit and go to the Mind Palace until something happens.
Just for you, Crash.
Mm-hmm.
I'll patch it.
You're gonna start patching it up? All right.
No.
I mean, it's kind of a callback to the early days of Thogrim having to fix everything that was broken. So it's certainly in character if you want to start repairing it. That's fine. All right.
Mhm,
As you're working on it, you do see slowly moving towards you a very big shell. Illyria, you
Mhm.
recognize it as a scallop.
Oh, look, guys, a scallop.
Where is?
Maybe we
that's-
should
Oh,
get
excuse
away
me.
from it.
Yeah.
Okay. As the scallop moves closer, it does
Mariana,
open
that's
up
you?
and sort of look over at you guys. It is a horrifying monstrosity from nightmares. Its hundreds of blue eyes and fangs and mouth cilia begin to taste you in the water.
Roll initiative.
I mean, it's not attacking. It's just sort of investigating. But you could attack it if you want.
Oh no. Good.
Okay.
Buddy. Go take a look.
Okay.
I'm just gonna keep looking around. And is there anything in this boat? Can I look around inside of it?
Thogrum, as you're working on the boat, you do notice something very big has moved up next to you and is watching you work.
I'm just gonna ignore it. Like, that's scary. Ignore it. Kind of.
Right.
Yeah, Mr. Thogrum, there's a big scallop thing coming, about to eat you, I think.
No. 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 There's nothing there.
Oh, Kaiaru's running away. Yeah, Kaiaru's like, fuck this shit, I'm leaving.
Can I tap my Tiara of the Rat Princess?
Oh, there's a
and
third.
Cast...
Oh my god.
Oh boy, speak with animals?
Yeah, sure.
And just say to it, hello, do you mean us any harm? We don't want to have to resort to any violence. We will leave you alone if you leave us alone.
Okay. As the scallop in charge turns to address you, you hear its voice kind of slither through the water towards you. Intruders must protect the masters.
Who's your master? Maybe we are here to protect them as well?
And you can see it kind of tasting the air by Thogrum as he tries to work, doing the I don't see you, you can't hurt me routine. It looks over at you with 50 of its eyes, keeping 50 of them on Thogrum, and says, we serve the merfolk.
We are here to see the merfolk. They have summoned us to aid them.
You two stay. And you see the other shells kind of settle down into the silt. And then this one kind of moves away. We will see. And as it kind of heads away, yeah. Those of you that can see that far, you see rising up out of a hole in the floor of the ocean, 6 fish-like humanoids that kind of come out. They give the scallops some pats, and then swim past them towards you guys. All right. It kind of calls out to you. It's good that you stayed.
Mm-hmm.
All
I
right.
told you we were here to help your masters.
Okay. In Underwater Common, which sounds ridiculous, like you're on a cartoon show, Mariana says, are you the emissaries sent by the sea wolf?
We are. We talked to Gellin, sea wolf.
It is good that none of you are human. And she narrows her eyes and says, Oceanus. And Oceanus looks over and he's like, Mariana? And then she kind of like makes a I'm super pissed off face. And then he kind of makes a it wasn't me face. And then she just sort of shakes her head. And she says, I would have thought the lords of the deep would have found a way to take you out by now. Do you even know what's happening down here? And he's like, no, I've been topside for a while. And she just kind of shakes her head. Well, we tarry too long here. Please, follow me, and I will take you to Tyria, that you may speak with our queen. The journey is long. This is not the true entrance to Tyria, but one of many. While we travel, I will answer any questions you might have, so that when you speak with our queen, you do not embarrass yourselves with any ignorance.
Very well.
Okay. Alright. So she kind of leads you back. They give the shell a nice pat, and the shell kind of heads off on its own. This one goes back in, clams up. And you guys head over to this ominous looking hole at the bottom of the ocean. Alright. You would not believe the stats on a giant dire scallop. They are nasty.
Really?
If ever there was a horrifying creature to face at the bottom of the ocean. Alright, Thogrum, let me get a repaired boat so that your character's OCD can rest in peace a little bit. So, here we go. Okay. Having repaired half of the boat, you look back and you know that you've done Gon's work here today.
Don't worry, sweetheart. I'll be back for you.
Some adventurers someday.
Yeah, you see her butt is over here. You'd have to get the butt and then attach it to the other end to get the ship fully back together. And then, work on getting it back up to the surface. All right. Any questions as they go to take you to Tyria?
How should we address the queen?
Oh, you can address her as queen.
Okay. Makes sense. He kind of like adjusts his arms like, I was something royalty myself a long time ago. But
oh, truly. What were you the royalty of? The surface world? The whole thing?
Not the whole thing. It's the dragonborn part, the smaller dragonborn part.
Oh, so you were his king? And she points to Skull.
Skull shrugs.
You could say that.
And you hear an angry burst of bubbles from Fish Dragon, and he says, "They work for me!
If anyone's the king, it's me! I'm the king! King Ebenfang!"
And she says, "So there's two kings? The sea wolf has outdone himself."
Yes, we have a dragon with us. They seem to lord over most of the dragonborn.
Okay.
But any advice you have would be helpful.
Certainly. Well, be respectful. This was a very difficult meeting to set up. If you say or do the wrong thing, there's a good chance that my people will just try to kill you.
What's the sort of wrong things we shouldn't say?
What are the right things that we should rather say?
Well, you are representing Saltmarsh, and there's a bad history between Tyria and Saltmarsh. So if you look overly sympathetic to Saltmarsh, that could be very bad.
Crash, would Tyria and I have gotten the names of the merfolk that we helped to escape?
Yeah. Yeah, you would have gotten the names of the merfolk. Yeah.
And maybe we can drop those as well, just in case it's.
Oh, smart. Okay. You guys also know from them that the Queen Ondine is who you're going to speak with. So here you go. There's this. Where is it? Damn. Okay. And hold on just a sec. Just looking up the last couple things. I haven't looked at these notes in a while. Okay. All right. Yeah, so they don't want you to look overly. You don't want to look overly sympathetic towards Saltmarsh, and you don't want to look like an enemy of the seas. You definitely don't want to look like you're in any way supportive of the actions of the Sahaugan.
So basically, everyone just kiss Spencer's feet to show that you love the sea.
She does point out that she will be over. The queen is a huge fan of orcas, and has a pet orca of her own. So that might be a good talk. Yeah, that might be a good talking point.
Oh my goodness!
Yeah, her orca is named Rocco. Because he likes smashing rocks. He's very big. You are informed.
Does he have like a smaller one named Spunky?
She kind of furrows her brow and she says, "I think she just has the one."
Oh. Maybe in the future.
All right. Any other questions before you reach Tyria?
What about like, should we bow when we meet? Curtsy?
They kind of look at you like, what is, what is a bow or a curtsy kind of thing? And they're just like, it would show foolishness, but also trust to lower your eyes to her. So if you want to appear to be non-threatening, you could certainly do so. But if you appear too non-threatening, they may just try to kill you. They're also going to doubt the validity of the aid you could give if you bow your head, because that would show that you are either stupid or weak. And then they'll question why the sea wolf would send stupid and weak people.
Do your people have any sort of histories with dwarves, dragonkind, elves, and so on, or any of us?
Well, we hate dragon turtles. But I think everyone could agree that dragon turtles are tremendous assholes.
They're the worst. I think
They really are. They're
An ass.
horrible.
She turns to the other merfolk and she says, "An asshole is sort of like their cloaca, but only the poop comes out. But sometimes they have sex with it." And the other merfolk looks scandalized. Because Mariana's she's like a grown up Little Mermaid situation, you know, like she thinks like the surface world is cool. She's like their resident astronaut, you know what I'm saying? Like, so she tells them all about the surface world, and they can't believe what these dingle hoppers and all this other crazy shit is that she sells on the black market. Yeah, she's basically like if Ariel was not a princess, she was the leader of the Thieves Guild. That's Mariana. So. Yeah, but basically, dragon turtles, she explains to you on the way, are extortionists and absolute bastards. They're the worst. So, that's the experience they have with dragons. Is dragon turtles, and dragon turtles are awful. So, any other undersea questions that they can answer for you?
No.
Okay. Because I mean, she's there. She's there for it. You know, she likes asking. She likes learning about the surface world. So she'll certainly trade information back and forth. For whatever you're willing to give. All right.
No, I was saying, does the queen have any like particular favorite parts about the surface world, or anything she's particularly fond of?
She is fond of the idea that someday the sun will burn all of you alive.
Oh.
Oh, speaking of sun, we have an artificial one. Our city is in a underdark cavern beneath the ocean floor. So don't worry, you will be able to see. And you have taken precautions, as I spoke with the sea wolf about. So that is why your bones are not liquefied inside of your soft surface bodies.
Well, I understand that. That's all I've got for now.
Oh, all right. Oh, here we are. And she sort of, pushes a stone aside, revealing the underwater city of Tyria.
Yes, Illyria is taking full-on mental image of this for Oakham.
You do see a wild herd of hippocampi kind of gallop swim by.
If I could have a tear go down Illyria's SpongeBob existence.
Yeah, it floats away from your face. Yeah, it floats away from your face.
A little light trail, like ding, 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 down your cheek.
Yeah, she leads you past all their buildings and shops and all that. Eventually, you are brought before the queen. Queen Undine holds court, and she has a pretty good display of power. She has some cavaliers. Oh yeah, this lady down here is the queen. She may look familiar if you play League of Legends, but I'm here to tell you that this is totally original character, and I don't know what she's talking about. It's a great as far as mermaids go, that's a really great mermaid, so she had to make her way in this campaign, and that's that. Anyways, there's a pretty good display of power. She's got a pretty dope-ass throne, made out of a living coral reef. She's got the super tough-looking Amazon captain of the guard standing by to murder you at a moment's notice. She has this spooky-looking court vizier kind of thing going on, giving her advice like Jafar, but maybe not in a bad guy way. She's got Rocco back there in the back, hanging out. Rocco is a gargantuan killer whale, and he's okay with being called a killer whale because he likes killing stuff. So, much like dragon turtles, orcas are tremendous assholes. If you did not know, I'm here to tell you, they are assholes. Just so you know. All these people that are like, don't call them killer whales, that's mean. They're assholes. Trust me. If they got a hold of you, you'd know that they were assholes pretty quick. Because they don't kill their prey very quickly. They will play with their prey for up to 6 hours before finally killing them. Yeah. Anyways, sorry. Just some adventurers have bad feels about like having to fight back against Shamu. I'm here to tell you, they assholes. You should feel worse about fighting orcs because they just, they were raised in a culture of violence. These creatures chose violence every day. Gosh, I have such strong feelings about orcas. Oh my god. All right. As you stand before her, Mariana says, all right, we're going to stand right in the center so that we look confident, even though we're vulnerable. Again, you don't want to appear weak. Also, this is totally not a setup. She kind of taps she taps the Bluetooth earring and she says, Gellin contacted me. He said you might have nervous feelings because he was also kind of nervous. He said after he talked to you about it, he felt a little nervous about it. I told him that there's a good chance that you're going to live through this.
Well, I'm not worried at all, madam.
Am I going to live through this? Are we still upset about, And she just looks at him and shakes her head with a look that could kill him if she was a Medusa. She's that displeased with him.
I look to my left to Pharaohs and I'm like, do we got this? Should we keep going?
Oh yeah. Oh, I got this. I don't know if you got this.
I'll get Ebenfang in a little huddle and I'll just say, at this point, we should try and look as impressive as possible.
Yes. Of course. Yeah. But I'm not gonna look like a dragon turtle, because apparently those are assholes. Which apparently is like a cloaca. Is it too personal if I ask you, Skull, do you have a cloaca or an asshole? Because when she said that, I just started thinking about it and I couldn't stop. And I'm confused. Is it bad to have an asshole? Or is it bad to not have one?
And you feel like, Skull, you're not ready to give the birds and the bees conversation to your son. Yeah. So I don't know if you want to deflect. That is a patented parenting move.
I pull out deflection +2.
Okay.
I don't know. I assume there's like a burst of bubbles and cut to somewhere. I don't know.
There's a burst of bubbles.
Mariana swims up to the two of you and says, "Hey, we can't tarry. Let's go. Come on. I'll stand there with you."
Yeah, let's go. All right, Pharaohs, you got this. We got this.
Oh, also, it's worth mentioning that if you screw this up, I'll probably die alongside you because I pushed really hard for this idea because I believe that there's good up on the surface world and that if we work together, we can find a solution to the problem that's about to wipe out all of our people. Well, that's too far. We're gonna stay on the circle.
Oh, circle. Back circle.
Yeah, it's okay. No, that's good. Stand slightly over the line so you look super confident, but not too far over the line because then you'll look aggressive. And then you see that Oceanus has taken his shirt off. That's his tactic.
Oh my gosh, I'm just gonna glare at him.
And he glares back at you and he's like, yeah, you like what you see?
Yeah,
No, what is wrong with you? Put your shit back on.
We're the only two elves here, we should be watching.
You tried this before and I rejected you. And
but
then
I
some.
thought maybe nope.
No.
I thought maybe we could have each other.
No.
Everybody sponge grasp in the mouth.
Sorry. He's giggling hysterically.
Grabs a jellyfish out of the water and stuffs it.
All right. Eben Fang spreads his wings and hovers over you, and he and Spencer form like a totem pole of intimidating creatures. And Cat Yarrow lands on Eben Fang's head and spreads his wings. And they look as intimidating as possible, like a cobra with its 3 different hoods fanned.
But then to offset that, Spencer, because we don't want to be too intimidating, we'll blow little heart bubbles.
Oh, nice. Rocco sees those heart bubbles. They do not go unnoticed. They do not go unnoticed. You're also curious, I'll be honest, how Rocco, a killer whale, is surviving at the bottom of the ocean since he is technically a fucking mammal. Yeah. There's a lot of questions. There's a lot of questions. Mermaid magic. If you've never seen the SpongeBob movie, will explain most of what's happening here. So, and I'm talking about the OG SpongeBob movie. All right. The queen looks down at you from her throne. Thanks to the magic of the throne, her voice is amplified as though a thaumaturgy spell. And she said, she just sort of says, "And who do you bring before me?" And Mariana clears her throat and says, "My queen, as we have discussed, I have sought aid from the surface world." And as she says the words, there is a great murmur. And that's when you realize that just off of the map, there's like 300 merfolk that are all watching.
Yup.
As they're sort of nestled in the coral reef that surrounds the throne room. They can't believe that this crazy surface-dwelling astronaut would bring aliens down into the throne room. And she says, "These brave champions of the surface world have slain an ancient black dragon." She looks at you for confirmation. There was only 25 words in the sending spell, so he had to abbreviate a lot of stuff. Is that right?
That's correct.
Yeah, that's correct.
That is like a dragon turtle, but on the surface world. And then there's a murmur, and you hear some light applause, from the gallery. Furthermore, they are expert diplomats and have unified a number of nations that were at war on the surface. And they are enemies of she who hungers. And there's another murmur in the crowd. I present to you the Salt Bois. And there's a murmur.
The princess wave.
Okay.
I love it. I love it.
Nice.
So Queen Undine says, champions of the one called the Sea Wolf. Monster that he is. Rogue. Opportunist. But ally and friend of our people. Who among you speaks for your group? Or do I speak to all?
We speak
You could hero
together.
huddle it, but yeah, sure.
I see. A school, a mad rabble. I will put it plainly to you. We find ourselves without allies and at the brink of extinction. The sea elves have been destroyed by civil war. And Oceanus stops, like cool football player smiling and waving next to Princess Pharos and looks gobsmacked. The Sahaugen infested their society with foul malenti, undermined their government, their society, and divided its people on every conceivable issue they could find, creating a division that sundered their society and destroyed what civilization they had. Now, the warring tribes of sea elves are scattered amongst the great sea and no longer pose a threat to the ever-growing power of the Sahaugen's great army. Further, the mighty and noble Tritons, stalwart guardians of good, have abandoned their bastion at the border to the elemental plane of water, returning to their home and leaving us to our fate. They could not endure the endless attacks of the Anguillians and their deep-sea monsters. Now, we swim alone against the ever-mounting evil of she who hungers servants. I ask, what do you, on the surface, know? Perhaps we can share our woes, our worries, and our trials. Together, find a solution, find a light at the end of this darkness to swim towards. For if we don't, my people will be the first to feed her hunger, but certainly not the last. And she sort of just leaves that hanging in the air so that you guys can pick up your diplomatic discussion next week. Figure out the next move.
Excellent.
All right. I will take you guys. You want to stay on this map, or do you want me to take you back to the dashboard?
Ooh, can we stay here?
Here's good.
Yeah, you can. Yeah, you can stay here. All right. Okay. Then we'll continue this next week as you try to diplomatize the last surviving merfolk nation of this region of the Great Sea. Find out what they know in exchange for what you know, and see what could be done about it. Spoilers, it's a pretty bad situation down here. It's a pretty bad situation down here. All right. So, announcements. There's a Hero Quest game on Wednesday. It's full. There's a bunch of one shots being run. There's the West Munchers at Schult. I want to say it's more than halfway done, or almost to the halfway points. I think it's only running until the average level is 10, and I think they're all maybe 5 now. I don't know. But if you haven't done that, I hear it's very fun. If you want to explore dinosaur jungles full of Monster Hunter monsters and crazy undead stuff, that's the thing that you could do. Gosh, what else? Let's see.
Thieves can't.
Oh, yeah. So the thieves can't. I spent the whole week reading this new rule set. Well, it's not new, but it's new to me. Rule set for 5e. And it has a lot of really elegant tweaks to the game that, in addition to balancing out really unbalanced things and kind of resolving a lot of silly things that happen in 5e, it also has a lot of just cool ideas for better ways to handle things. And Thieves Can't includes a sign language. And then you can actually teach other people your own version of Thieves Can't, and then eventually you can teach them to talk both ways in Thieves Can't. So basically, a party rogue can teach the other people in the party like secret sign language that only the party knows. So
cool.
If you guys were like here in this diplomat type situation, you could be kind of secretly communicating with each other, either verbally or with sign language, without anyone else knowing what the hell you guys were talking about. Or if you were in a dungeon trying to be stealthy, you could essentially be sign language, like, SEAL Team 6 kind of signaling to each other, and it would actually have meaning and stuff like that. So it was a really cool way to make something that hardly ever gets any action into a mechanically viable option, which I thought was kind of cool. So, but that's just like the tip of the iceberg for crazy cool stuff that they do to kind of reinvent 5th edition. I'm very excited by it. I am gonna start in October. A very good friend of mine, he and I are gonna start up our old West Marches game using these new rules. So since it's gonna be West Marches, it's gonna be quote unquote a true West Marches. So it's going to have no cap on players. So as many people that are interested to play can try to play. But it's also going to have multiple DMs. But it's all going to be the same persistent world and the same persistent like quest hub. So it's going to kind of feel like a little bit like an MMO. So you're going to be able to essentially have a household, or not a household, but a house, which is sort of like a guild. You'll be able to have one per DM, per active DM. And then in a very roguelike way, if your character dies, and they will because these rules are incredibly brutal, you pass whatever cool shit you had on to your next character, who then levels faster to catch up with everybody else. But it's still like roguelike Iron Man, so you start your new character at level 1. But it's all player driven. So you get rumors every week about things that are going on in the region, and then you can explore those rumors or not explore those rumors. And there's like quest boards, like video game style, where you can kind of say, yeah, I'm going to get a party together and go here. And you don't always have to play with the same group. So you can kind of, we're looking for a ranger to go scout this region kind of thing. And then try to recruit somebody that's playing as a ranger. It's a really fun thing. Like, my friend and I ran it for like 2 years the last time we did it, and it was some of the best D&D I ever played in 26 years was during that West Marches. So we're both very excited to sort of knock the dust off of this setting, which is entirely homebrew setting. That it was built organically by the players. So we're very excited to sort of keep going with that. So that's something that's going to be starting in October if anybody is interested in that sort of stuff. So does anybody else have any announcements before we adjourn? No? Okay. I hope everybody has a safe and healthy week, and we will continue this next Sunday. So, all right. If you need me for anything, just at me in chat. That's the best way to make sure I see the message, get a hold of it, because things have gotten very big, and there's a lot going on. So, all right. Good night, everybody.
Thank you so much, Crash.
Thank
Yeah.
Thanks, Crash.
Thanks, y'all.
Good
It was
night.
good. Hey,
Good
y'all.
night.
Good night, everybody.
Bye-bye.
Bye, everybody.